for artists that want to follow a realistic style, I don't know that you necessarily have to overthink about an influence like me or any other painter who does realism. You can certainly get a lot from the pieces that we've done, maybe even imitate some of those compositions, but I think you'll find your own way once you're just studying reality, which is what I would do. I mean, if I'm going to look at people, things, photographs, it's beneficial to start shooting your own if you can get into that. And these days, since everybody's got a camera, that's not so much of an issue anymore. Being able to study life as the basis for something is the best. I had the longest problem of thinking I needed to have everybody and every element be perfect before I could use it as a reference source. And so it took me a long time to realize how flexible the basis of the human form is. I've posed for myself on loads of paintings where now I guess I'm called out by some people online. It's a process of getting your mind comfortable with what you're building off of. And at a certain point, I would say accept that you're going to feel like you're not seeing it until you've seen it. You know, that maybe you do need to have a thing look like a thing exactly before you're painting from it.
Hi, yeah, podcast host. This is Jamie Farr from the TV series MASH. And Yoko Chips wanted me to say hi to all the guys. And I got their names here: Art, Franco, Scoot, and of course Yoko Chips, Mike, and the other Mike. And they had a question. They said, "Who was Klinger's favorite comic book and superhero?" Well, I believe you have me confused with Radar. As a matter of fact, I just emailed Gary Berghoff, who played Radar, and he told me that his favorite comic book actually was Wiz Comics, and his favorite character was Captain Marvel. But you got the right guy, Jamie Farr, because I love comic books. I had a whole bunch of. I had the first Superman and the first Detective Comics that introduced Batman. As a matter of fact, at one of the conventions, I met Bob Kane, and he did a rendering of Batman for me. And I can't find it, otherwise I'd show it to you. But look at here's some of the collections I have. My wife got me this one here. And of course, it has all the great characters in there, the Spectre and Hawkman and Plastic Man. And of course, here's the great comics. I used to enjoy those. I get the New York Mirror and the Chicago Tribune. They get all the comic characters. And I wanted to tell you, I had all the originals. They were absolutely pristine. And when I got drafted into the Army, I had them all put in my mom's garage in a nice big barrel. And guess what? When I got out, she had given them all away. I could have retired. I didn't have to do MASH. I had all these wonderful, absolutely beautiful comic books that I had, and I loved them so much. And Scoot, I guess you're from Toledo, and you like Tony Pacos, so I have a picture of that. So listen, guys, I like podcasts. I'll check in with you. Jeff Maxwell, who played Igor, has MASH Matters, which is a podcast on about MASH, and of course Alan Alda has one called Clear and Vivid. So nice talking to all of you, and I'm looking forward to listening to your podcast. Thank you.
All right, I think everything's fixed now.
I don't know. I don't think Jamie Farr has listened to our podcast, because if he has at any point, he probably would have asked that we pull that cameo and not show it anymore.
Yeah, do me a favor. I'm not making any more money off it.
I think he forgot he was doing a cameo, and he thought he was just having a conversation.
He thought he was on the podcast.
So my usual computer blew up, and I'm on my backup, and my backup, I don't know what, the processor gets like very kerflunked, and that's why during Alex Ross it was like, but I'm like, okay, I see Superman. I'm hearing the close of the music, but I still see Superman. I'm like, oh shit, it's messed up. But now we're fine.
I read that as Alex Ross is trying to sabotage our podcast. That's the way I read that.
I was singing during the technical difficulties, just in case anybody could hear when the screen was black. I was treating everyone to my rendition of Memories from Cats.
Oh,
I don't think anybody heard it.
I was piercing my nipple, actually. Yeah. So
Can we
Yeah.
see?
Now you got a better view of my house, and as Franco said, hey, I like the hoarding filter you've got back there. I think I need to do some spring cleaning. I don't know.
I said that lovingly, except
I
for
know.
all the
Sorry.
Wonder Bread bags with the socks in them. I don't know what that's all about.
Sure, there were no socks in the front of it.
I can see the glove.
Exactly.
It's
It's
there.
there somewhere under a bunch of Wonder Bread bags. It's true.
What is it with that? Why would my mom save all those Wonder Bread bags all the time? She would
So
save
you
them.
can slip your galoshes on easier.
We did, yeah. I mean, when we had to go out in the rain, because we would go out and forage in the forest for mushrooms and stuff like that, we would put them on. But they'd have no traction. You just slip right down the hill, all the way down the hill.
No, you put the bag on, then you put the galoshes on.
Oh,
No wonder I would slide down the hill all the time.
I don't know how to break it to your mama, but yeah, that's that. This is how you do it. In the words of who sang that song? This is how you do it.
this is how we.
I believe it was Aretha Franklin.
Maybe it was your mama. Exactly.
Hey, Jim Neighbors.
Wow.
Norm
Jim
Van-
Neighbors.
Yeah, it was Jim Neighbors.
This is how you do it.
I don't know what it is. Did I talk about Jim Neighbors on the last podcast?
Oh, we
Did I
all
bring
know.
that up?
Go ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
Let's hear it again.
I think I brought it up for whatever reason. I think I saw him somewhere, and since the lab, what did we do, like a week ago or so, maybe more?
Yeah, something like that. No, close to like a week ago.
Since then, I've seen him on 7 different programs. Like, I saw him on an episode of The Love Boat. He was on an episode of The
I
Carol
love that.
Burnett Show. He was on an episode. Oh, that's what it was. I brought it up because I saw him on The Muppet Show. But then I saw him on The Carol Burnett Show. I saw him on The Love Boat. I saw him on like all these different programs. I honestly think I'm being haunted by the ghost of Jim Neighbors.
Lucky.
Well, you know, Carol
He had
Burnett.
Wonder Bread bags on his hands when he sang. I don't know.
Carol Burnett used to have him on the first episode of her variety show every season, and that was like her good luck charm that it would be a good season. And you know, she was on for 11 years, so something like must be right.
I didn't know that. Wow.
You can see Carol Burnett trivia right here. Don't worry.
Wow.
We got you covered here on the podcast.
See, innocuously, I just bring that up, and Johnny knows a fact about it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And no, and I'm so glad you're watching The Love Boat because I've been watching it as well.
Go fast.
Decades after the Odd Couple Hour.
Well, I was watching it because it was on Pluto. They have a whole
Okay.
24-hour channel.
Yeah, they got a Love Boat channel.
So I was watching it on Pluto. And
Hello,
Gopher,
Gopher.
he called Gopher, and it was the
Hi
one.
there. Look, Mayor, I'm the captain of a ship now.
The episode I saw was Jim Neighbors was a talkative type, and nobody wanted to hang out with him. And then at the end,
Did he do the Gomer voice?
he did, golly, and for some inexplicable reason, he turned out to be a jewel thief at the end.
That's
And then-
fantastic.
And then not Diane Carroll. Is it Diane Carroll? She was on Dynasty.
Diane,
Cannon?
yeah, it was Diane Carroll. No.
Diane Carroll. She
The
had a
black
fling
lady.
with Isaac. She was doing Isaac in the stateroom, and and then she left him. She left him at sea because she was
With the
she was-
understatement. Go on.
because Captain Stubing.
Go fire.
He wanted her to sing because she was a big star and she was being a recluse on the ship. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, because I saw one yesterday that was on Decades, and you know,
Decades.
Charo had that recurring character she would do, April,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to remember who. Well, I don't know if they were a love connection or not because I only watched like 5 minutes of it, and then my head was ready to explode, so I had to change the channel. But Larry Linville, Frank Byrne from MASH. Speaking of MASH,
Yeah.
he had like kids that were on the ship as well, and they were very boisterous and like out of control. And Dodie Goodman was the nanny that was taking care of them, and the kids pulled a prank where, hey, room service is here, and there was a domed covered like table on wheels. And when the old lady, when Dodie Goodman pulls open the dome, one little boy was sticking out like his head was on a plate, and he had an apple in his mouth. He's like, and she's like, ah! And because April was talking to Larry Lidwell, Frank Burns, and then whatever the hell she was saying to him, I didn't know. I didn't want to know. But Jodie Goodwin runs out screaming, it's like, your kids are out of control. I can't watch your kids. And that's when I'm like, all right, either get the hammer or change the channel. And
All right, so my wife came up with a new game to play. You know how like when you drink whenever Norm comes in, if they say Norm or you watch a show, and every time someone does this, you drink or something like that. So we were watching as we went to bed. It was a show to fall asleep to. We were watching this episode of Love Boat, but then I got intrigued and I watched the whole thing. But I'm watching and I took my glasses off because blurry is good enough when I'm watching these things in bed, right? And then she pipes up. She goes, Julie, the cruise director, she's wearing this yellow shirt. And my wife goes, oh, she's not wearing a bra. And I'm like, wait, what? And I had to get my glasses and put it on. And sure enough, and then she goes, oh, in this scene she's not. In this scene she is. In this scene she's not. So it was a game throughout the whole
that's
episode.
outstanding.
So whether Julie is wearing a bra or not is a part of the Love Boat game now.
I like it. I like that a lot. Brad wants a reprise of Memories, please.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. Midnight, all alone in the moonlight, all alone with my memories of the way that we were. Just like Josh Groban, right?
Very Josh Groban.
Is it over?
It is.
You didn't hear the whole thing? You want me to do it again? Did you miss it?
No.
Oh.
It was very Jim Neighbor-esque.
Yeah.
And Andrew has a good question. He says, when Gomer Pyle says Shazam, does that have any connection to the comic character? Yes, Gomer Pyle was one of the Lieutenant Marbles. He was Hillbilly.
Yeah.
Remember there was Tall Billy, Fat Billy, and Hillbilly. And they would have, and in today's environment, Fat Billy, of course, would be the creators of Captain Marvel would be accused of fat Billy shaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody back in the day had a Fat Billy.
Yeah, I get it.
I have a Love Boat connection.
Please.
When I was about 8 years old, I was in a fashion show. And
wait, let's just leave that story right there.
Hold on. Back up a second. Okay, go ahead.
This would be really embarrassing if I went back and looked, but there is footage. There's video cassette tape footage of me in this fashion show. It was like I went to a Catholic school and the school held a fundraiser fashion show.
Catholic school fashion show.
This gets better and better. Right.
And they invited people
across naked. This is the best ending. But go ahead.
Spring Break Lawyer. They invited people who were part of the church or the school to be in the fashion show, to be models in the fashion show. So I got asked to be part of this thing to open the show. And it was like a nautical theme. So there was like all this boats, it was like being on a cruise ship. And
hey, little kid, are you seasick? Come on over here.
There are a lot of crosses all over the place, just like a cruise ship. Go on.
So I come out at the beginning and I'm lip syncing to the Love Boat theme song. The Love Boat theme song is playing and I'm coming out. Love, exciting and new. I still know all the words to this day. Come aboard. We're expecting you. And I'm coming out there like this. I'm this little kid and I'm doing this kind of dance. I'm wearing like a cardigan sweater and a captain's hat. And I'm the only one out there opening this whole thing. And I'm looking around and people are dying. They're laughing. And in my head, I'm going, am I doing something wrong? I wasn't expecting this to be entertaining for people in this way, but apparently it was. So I finished, I walked off the stage and that was the big opening.
So you need to get this tape. We need to play it on here. We can't
get to call Smokey Spidey and like demand that you like cough it up. Come on, lady.
We're gonna get more viewers than we did when we showed Spring Break Lawyer clips.
We are prepared to show more clips of Spring Break Lawyer as well.
There's
and
more
Mike footage. So
we have the complete. We have a special treat.
I don't know. I don't know if we wanted to wait for Artie and Scoop before we show that video and tease.
Yeah.
Let's wait in case.
I think we need everybody here, but I really love the beginning of that story saying, "I was in a fashion show when I was 8 years old."
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, and the weird thing too was after the fashion show, it was a one-time thing. It was one day and it was done. But then
but I'm having a hell of a time. Let's do it next year. Okay, Father.
There was a priest in there. There were a couple of them who were like models in the fashion show. But
There's Father Guido sporting a lovely bathing suit for beach
What the
time.
hell were they modeling?
Hey, had a freak guy, all right? Look at my holy balls over there, by there.
Here's Sister Monica with the latest frock.
With the latest ruler to swat the children with. Did you ever get hit with a ruler?
I didn't know. That was
Not on purpose.
That was before my time when they were doing that.
They put the ruler down by the time you were in school. All right.
They did, yeah.
All right. There were still, according to my former Catholic school buddies and stuff, I got the crap kicked out of me by the nuns. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
We had nuns and priests teaching, but none of them beat. Yeah. Well, they didn't do anything to me anyway. I can't speak for my classmates.
I told you guys I lived next to, when I was living in right by O'Hare, right by the airport. I had an apartment for several years, and I think this might have been actually before we were podcasting, but I lived next door to 3 nuns who were in an apartment building right next door, and they were retired nuns. They could not have been nicer. They were truly the sweetest women, but. We had this little, our backyards were basically just mostly cement parking spaces for us to park behind our apartment buildings. But we did have this little patch of grass between my apartment building and their apartment building. And they use it and they would plant tomatoes and cucumbers. And this one tiny little thing. And they, again, God was on their side when it came to growing things because they would have huge produce from these cucumbers and tomatoes. You know where this is going. So literally one day, Sister Honoria is out there and she's got a cucumber.
Of course. Honoria. Of course, that's the name.
Like the size of a submarine sandwich. And that's right. And she's like, look at this. Have you ever seen anything this big? And I'm like, dirty joke, dirty joke, dirty joke, dirty joke. And I'm like, no, man, that's very impressive. I don't eat cucumbers, but thank you. I appreciate that. I will take more tomatoes when okay.
But now every time you eat a cucumber, you think of Sister Honoria.
Cucumber, yeah.
I have a story about nuns.
Dear Penthouse Forums, I never knew these letters were true.
Until the following happened to me.
The following happened at a nun next door.
Did I ever tell the story about the time 4 nuns hit me?
No, tell us.
So
tell us.
My sister and I were returning a rental movie back when they had Blockbusters and stuff, but this was before Blockbuster, so it was a rental place that wasn't Blockbuster. So I pull into the parking space, and people, there's cars parked this way, but I pulled in behind it because my sister was going to get out, drop off the tape, and come back in. So I parked behind the car. My sister gets out. I see the reverse lights on the car in the parking space turn on. So I'm like, all right. By the time I reach down to put the car in drive to get out of her way, the car zooms out and smashes into me. And I was like, what the? I put the car in park and I get out and I just start yelling. I'm like, what the bleep? What the fuck? 4 nuns get out of the car. 4 nuns get out of the car and she's like, oh my goodness. Well, I'm so sorry. This is totally my fault. And I'm a Catholic boy, grown up, not practicing, but grown up Catholic. I get out of the car. The first thing I say is, no, totally my fault. It's all the Catholic guilt, But they didn't want to go through insurance, so I called my dad, and I'm like, listen, I just got into a car accident. Like, I don't know what to do. It's my first car accident, I don't know what to do. They don't want to go through insurance. My dad's like, what are you, crazy? Well, he said it in Italian, but he goes, you never go through, you got to go through insurance. You call the police right now, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, but it's 4 nuns. He goes, that's all right. We don't have to go through insurance. They paid for all the damage. They paid for the damage on the car. But, my dad's like, if you can't trust 4 nuns, who can you trust? So we don't have to go through insurance.
They used that collection basket money.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right?
All right, the church can do without a roof for another year. Pay for the boy's car.
Honoria had to sell her pickles.
That's my Catholic priest voice and my 1930s policeman. Okay, Rocky, off with your hands up. We know you're in there. That was a character I had on the sports radio station. I was Father Pat from Notre Dame. And it was great because it was years when they lost they were constantly losing. We don't like to read about losing in the paper. And it was great because we had guys from the Guinness Beer Company from Ireland. And they totally are like, hello, Father Pat. Very nice to meet you. How are you? Oh, you got a fine product, boys. We crack open a few after Mass every Sunday. You know.
Does Guinness make wine? They should make wine, right, Father?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Seriously, they double their profits. So they got a harp on the can, so you know it's holy. So that's awesome. More church talk here on the Oh Yeah podcast.
This is the holy segment of the Oh Yeah podcast.
Exactly.
Brought to you by-
Right before Jesus comes back. Yeah, things are that bad. They're cracking wise about the church. I figured I'd show up. All right, you're going up, and all of a sudden we're still doing the Oh Yeah podcast down here.
What happened?
You know, remember that HBO show, The Leftovers?
Yeah.
That was about the people that were, the 2% went to heaven. It was true.
We're the ones left.
Not
They
good.
left without us.
It was
Did
sick.
I ever tell you my Pope joke?
Tell us your Pope
Go
joke.
for it.
Pope stands up in the middle of a crowd. He goes, Annalende, Sante Belle, play ball. That's it. That's the whole joke.
Nice. Nice. Very good. Very nice.
I used to do. I was an altar server or altar boy, as you might
Of
call
course
it.
you were.
Fashion show at the church and an altar boy. I sense the pattern. Go on.
Something's going to happen at one point, in the far future or near future, where he's just going to tell us, "Hey guys, this happened to me when I was younger."
Repressed memory, exactly.
I'm gonna do it. I'm
He
gonna do it
wasn't
here.
adjusting my shirt. Hold on a second.
No. I kid around.
I'm gonna reveal it on the Oh Yeah podcast too. That's how I'm gonna.
We can't
Guys.
the church. It's all right.
We're
they
kidding.
They can handle it. 4,000 years. They can handle it. So,
Yeah, agreed.
Go
Thick
ahead.
skin,
Go ahead.
real thick. So I did. I was one of these altar boys, and one time it was time, during the mass, this hour-long ceremony. There's a point where I had to bring these glass jars of water and wine over to the priest, and he blesses them, and then the water and wine can go out to the congregation. So these things, though, they had a cap. Each of these jars, these small jars, had a cap on it, and I uncapped the water and banged the bottom of it on the table underneath and shattered the glass, and the water went everywhere. And I was panicked because, there's people out there, like 100 or something more people out there watching all of this happen.
And they want their wine.
They want their wine. The wine was unharmed, thankfully. It was the water that was the problem. So another kid thought quickly and went and got another bottle of water, but I was just standing there like I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. It was really embarrassing, but that was the worst of what happened.
Did someone in the audience stand up, point at you, and say, "Mikey wet his pants"? Did they?
No, that might have broken the tension. That might have made it better. I was.
Here, Wayne has great more church talk.
Yeah.
Wayne says, I did the tax return for the priest in my parish one year, and he lived in a mobile trailer. Oh, that's terrible. He had the best collection of I'm assuming that's red wine, as opposed to ref wine. That's awesome. My first priest at the Greek church was a very good family friend and would golf with my father. And when my mom was really sick, he would come every Friday and perform communion service for her just by herself and stuff. And he was the best. He was such a good guy and such a down-to-earth guy. And Greek priests are allowed to get married. So we don't have the problems that a lot of other churches have with priests and stuff because everything's all right. But yeah, he was a great guy. Father Peter, tremendous guy. We loved him. So there you go. If your parish was like mine, it was one drop of water, a liter of wine. Hey, Irish up my communion wine, will you there, Father? No problem. I got it covered. That's all right.
We had sexual education when I was in grade school. I went to Catholic grade school, and a priest was they divided us. They got all the girls together in one classroom
Yeah,
for this,
yeah.
and then the boys in the other. And there was a priest who was like decided he was going to field questions about the reproductive system and everything else. And one kid raises his hand, and he goes,
Careful, tread lightly here. Careful.
"Oh,
What did he ask?
I'm going to be careful." He asked, in an erection, is there an actual bone in there?
When he says boner, father, are there actual bones involved? I'll sit down and wait for my answer.
That was the question, and he prefaced it with,
Inquiring minds want to know.
he was like, the kid was real careful about it. He was like, "Now, I'm not joking here. This is a serious question, but is there a bone in there?" And I don't remember the answer because
I beat the crap out of you for asking that question. You got bones.
the answer was no. For anyone who's watching and wants to know the answer, yes, the answer is no.
Good. I think a lot of our audience is very confused.
I could say, yeah.
That's been on their minds for decades. So that's good.
If you didn't answer that question, we would have been fielding them later on.
You know, I never thought about it. Is there a bone?
Wait a minute.
Podcast. I'd like to discuss with you. Metaphorically, that something came up. All right.
Wait a minute. Is that why they call it boner?
Boner. How many times have we seen on Twitter or Facebook somebody who would print a Batman panel? And, oh, man, I just made a huge boner there, meaning mistake.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, or the Joker.
The Joker. Yeah. The Joker.
Yeah.
Joker's got a boner.
What a boner.
I wonder when the boner erection slang was created, and did those comic book writers know what they were saying when they said boner, or was it an innocent mistake where just like when they would describe somebody as being incredibly gay, and it was just like he was very funny. So,
yeah. How did that get through the Comics Code Authority?
Exactly
the boner.
Yeah. There was a famous chain of stores in Chicago called Moondog Comics.
Yes,
they went national.
My cousin, he was a manager, like a general manager of the store.
Mm-hmm.
He worked with Gary Colabono, who was in charge to some extent. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
Gary will be on Word Balloon in a week or two.
No way.
It's actually next Tuesday. This coming Tuesday.
Jeez, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they nationalized and went syndicated like a Blockbuster too fast, too soon, and then they all collapsed because we had a bunch of them out here too.
Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Wizard too, weren't they? Or at least Gary was involved in Wizard early on.
I don't know because
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But we talked. It was great because we have a mutual friend. And I had no idea that my friend knew Gary, and I didn't know if Gary was frankly even still alive or not. He's not that old. He's only in his early 70s, like maybe even 70 or 71. And he wasn't aware that I was into comics, but he knew me from radio because he used to listen to The Score, the sports station I was on for 10 years. And, so we were talking via email, and I'm getting to a point of why I think of him. But he, it was crazy. We were talking. He's like, I didn't know you were into comics. And I'm like, Gary, I didn't know you knew my buddy Lars. I said, that's great. And he goes, you're Shaky, right? That was, that's my nickname from radio. And I'm like, yeah. But we're talking, and it's funny you mentioned, the Comics Code, because we were talking about a ton of different things. And one thing we brought, he's just like, isn't it weird how the Comics Code just slowly kind of disappeared? And he goes, and now, the people that do like comics, they really want their comics to have a lot more violence and a lot more sex and stuff like that. And I said, well, I don't know about everybody. I said, but no, you're right. And oh my God, he just sold Heritage Auctions, does the big auctions for rare comics and stuff. Mm-hmm. He had the ash can of Action Comics #1. And if you don't know the full definition of what an ash can comic is, the publisher will basically trademark the logo and the title before the comic comes out and just do I don't even know. I'll ask him if he knows when we talk on Tuesday how many they made. But it doesn't even have a picture. In fact, I'll find it in my emails. It doesn't even have a Superman picture on the cover. It was like a witch with a dagger or a pirate with a dagger. It could be, I don't know. But it said Action Comics, and it was the Ashcan. And so it didn't have Superman on the cover, but it was truly the first Action Comics. And it went for $200,000. I don't know what condition it was in, but $200,000. And it's great because, Gary hung on to it. There was a famous Larry comic store owner that goes way back too. But Gary still, he owned the Ashcan. And, he's 70 years old, so he auctioned it off. And it's like, hey, there's a nice little bundle of cash for him and his wife while he's retired. And it's like, hey, here you go, man. There's 6 figures. Go crazy. So that's awesome. And it's amazing. And also, he, in the 90s, hosted a local radio show for a year on WCBR, The Bear, back in the day. And it was Saturday mornings. And he used to have all the creators on in the 90s. And he had Palmiotti and Quesada on when they were still just doing event comics.
I remember that. Yeah. Okay. I remember those.
And he's posting on his website, because I'm like, do you still have your episodes? He's like, yeah, I got like 40 of them. And I said, that's great. I'm like, are you using him as podcasts? And he said, yeah. He goes, I'm only releasing him. He just started his new website because he basically wants to be a middleman for like grandchildren who suddenly the grandparents die and they're going through the stuff. And it's like, oh my God, my grandfather has a ton of old comics. I don't know what to do with them. And he has helped several local families who found themselves in that situation and brokered them, selling them and getting a good price for them because he knows he's got the knowledge to get them the best deal and everything. So no, it's amazing. And I haven't had a chance to listen to his shows, but it's going to be great. So Tuesday night around this time, expect me and Gary talking, and I hope you'll come on, Skull, because then you can, bring up your buddy that used to manage. But oh my God, I mean, really, like we talked for like an hour this morning. We had the best time, and we're both laughing and just like, do you remember this? Do you remember that? Great, really, really great guy. So it's pretty cool.
That's crazy. What a coincidence. Gary got me a job. It was like 2009 with the whole, the economy went in the toilet and everything. And I was doing animation at the time. I lost my job and I was looking for something else to go to. And Gary at the time worked at this place called Incredible Technologies, and it was in Arlington Heights. And they made Golden Tee, that golf game where you roll the arcade game, you roll the ball and the guy hits the ball on the screen.
Yeah.
And Gary was working there, and he got me a job testing their games. They were coming out with a new line of slot machines, and they needed people to test them. So I was like, well, I'm free. I'm just looking for work. So he got me in there, and I was doing that for, I don't know, like 30 hours a week or something. I was sitting in front of slot machines, just testing them, trying to figure out
how to wind your watch, and you don't use the right hand anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carpal tunnel from all your days as a slot jockey, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. They don't have the handles on them anymore. At least those
really didn't. The full. So it's just the touch. It was just the button.
Yeah. It was all video stuff.
Sure.
The ones I was testing.
What was the name of that company?
It was called Incredible Technologies.
Okay.
They're still around, and I've worked with them since then. I've done voices in their games. Like they had a Leonidas 300 style game a couple years ago. I was Leonidas commanding armies in that, and I was in an Archie. Archie, Johnny. Yeah, we talked about that on Word Balloon a number of years ago. Yeah, this was the place. Nice. So yes, it was Gary who got me in there. So that's great. I'm glad he's still doing stuff with comics.
Honestly, we had the best talk, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him on Tuesday. So Wayne's got another story for us. My high school gym teacher taught us that, and before the Live Birth movie, he put a garbage pail in the middle of the room and told us, "Don't be ashamed if you need to throw up." I put the jokes about lasagna and other foods during the birthing process.
Lasagna.
Thank you, Wayne.
Thanks for that visual.
Thanks, Wayne.
Oh,
Now I'm never gonna go. I'm never gonna be able to go through a live birth again without thinking, where does the lasagna come in?
that's like on The Simpsons when they show the sex movie. Hi, I'm Troy McClure, and it was Fuzzy Bunny and his girlfriend, and they got married. And then came the wedding night, and you hear porn music, and all the kids are like, "Oh, gross!" and Mrs. Krabappel's like, "She's faking it."
Speaking of porn,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes.
I'm not sure whether or not you guys are aware of this, but they made pornographic versions of the Cosby Show and Who's the Boss. Those are the two I'm aware of. I'm sure there are more, but
Hey, is it okay if the girl with the big knuckles, if I call her Tony, so I don't get confused?
the guy who they got for Bill Cosby to do his part, he was great. I mean, he looked like he
He was great.
he was good. He did the impression really well. I had no interest in the, when the music would start, they'd start doing things. I was like, whatever. I was
You're
skipping to
watching all the in between sections.
yeah.
Fast forward.
I was looking for the story, like Rudy was going to visit colleges, and Cliff and Claire were in the bed, and they were talking about, we got to bring Rudy tomorrow to see a college, and Cliff was like, but I was going to watch the game, and he really got into it. He was good.
So basically, you remember a couple of years ago when they came out with and it was around the cons. They were called deassified versions, where someone would take Batman Forever and take out all the really crappy parts and just so now you want the depornized version of the Cosby porn, basically. You need
deassified because it still applies.
You need the deassified version of these
applies.
pornos. and you want to watch that 10 minutes of this Cosby Show, basically.
Well, those XXX superhero parodies. I mean, and it was so great going to San Diego, and you would see a Supergirl, and it was a porn actress, and instead of the S, it would have a XXX in the shield and stuff. But also, the best was one of the first ones, and it was based on the Batman '66 TV show, and the guy who produced it and directed it was very proud of the. I mean, it was all green screen, most of the sets, but the set design and the non-pornographic actors. I mean, they got a Chief O'Hara who absolutely looked like Chief O'Hara. They got a Commissioner Gordon who absolutely looked like Commissioner Gordon. The guy who played Bruce Wayne and Batman would be in this great V-neck sweater with a nice collared shirt and an ascot and everything. And I mean, really, they went to serious lengths to make it look very much like Batman '66. And I remember reading articles in Newsarama and CBR where they'd interview the guy, and he's like, listen, I'm a fan. And he goes, I want people not only to get their rocks off, but also I want them to appreciate the attention to detail I put into, these Batman parodies. And I got to say, he did a great job. They were hilarious.
Guys.
Yeah.
When shows come back, I got the perfect thing for us. We're going to take all these movies, deassify them, and sell versions of them at cons. This is what we're going to do now. Well, I saw Mitch pop up. Will he let us do this at his show?
Hey, Mitch, how about it?
Yeah, exactly. Right, we got a new booth for Terrificon. Exactly.
The deassified booth.
Johnny, what you were saying about the production value, the same holds true for not the Who's the Boss XXX and not the Cosby's XXX, which is what they were called.
Right.
The attention to detail on the sets and the costumes was really impressive. And I got to say, the writing, too, to make the effort to make jokes. Oh, Mitch is here. There he is. Yeah, the attention to detail and the interest they seem to take in the writing and the jokes in those in-between scenes was pretty impressive. Oh,
yeah. Well, I remember they did not the Big Bang Theory, not the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
I'm looking up the cast of Not the Cosby's XXX right now.
Excellent.
Yeah. the Cosby guy did not
It's on
partake.
IMDb. It's on IMDb.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh no, I noticed that too. Yeah.
The guy who plays Cosby did not partake in any of the activities. He was only in the story parts of the scenes.
Oh,
Like,
that's hilarious.
when it
The
was
guy's
time
name
for
is
the.
Thomas Ward. Thomas
Okay.
Ward played Cliff.
Can we find a picture of Thomas Ward actor?
No, they don't have. Ooh, Theo, the guy that got to play Theo, he's a hunk. Wow.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was something. I mean, they wrote jokes for these things. Oh my god,
Hold on. I just want to bookmark this for later. Okay. All right. We're good.
Mona was in the Who's the Boss one. She partook.
Good for her.
Owner.
Her, Tony, and Angela together. That's totally serious. That was the conclusion. Sorry about the spoilers.
Oh.
We got so bad that we're now spoiling porn movies now.
I'm sorry to say I cannot find a picture of him, but he is. I mean, he does have an IMDb page. Here, hold on. I'd like to give you his other credits. He's in not the Three Stooges Triple X. His character does not have a name, but is described as Black Butler.
This guy's got range. That's all I could say.
He was. He's in.
Hey Mo! No, Mo! No, Mo! Hey Mo!
He's
Quiet
in.
you.
Well, it was the second, not the Cosby's thing.
The second one.
And also, he's in not Bill Cosby Triple X, and it's called Puddin', Puddin, Puddin' My Dick Where It Don't Belong. And then he's in not Monday Night Football as Bill Cosby. And yeah, there you go. So
He made a career.
It's the full film career of Thomas Ward.
He's going to be a Terrificon signing, doing Q&A panels. Sorry, Wayne. You're right. I should have said spoilers.
And Don wants to know how much porn we watch. Yeah, I only read the articles. I swear.
Yeah, like I was saying, I just watched the story part.
Yeah. So, say this is what happens when we get together.
Wow.
Oh, I can't breathe.
It hurts.
I'm hurting here.
Hurts.
Oh,
Very good. What else?
I don't know how to follow any of that.
yeah. How do you trend?
We go on other real comic book or whatever subjects. I watched more of Invincible.
I love the book. I like the book. How's the show?
It's good.
It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And I like the animation. Franco and I were talking about it last Friday with Wayne, and I like the animation and the designs because it really does look like Corey Walker and Ryan Otley art, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of, I'm going to plug myself now because I'm here. But this Friday, Wayne and I will be talking to Katie Cook.
Nice.
This Friday. So
I like her.
yes,
I like her. She's the
we're going to
best.
be talking about King Kong versus Godzilla.
Nice.
Yeah. Or Godzilla
Saturday,
versus
I still
Kong.
haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm in a rush to watch it. I got to be honest.
it's all right. You don't have to. It disappears after 30 days on the Hobomax.
I'm aware. Well, yeah, it was kind of like Wonder Woman 84.
Yep.
Although Chucky came through for me. He bought the DVD, and he always gives me the digital copy.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, he doesn't. He'll let me take the coupon for the digital copy when he buys it.
Chucky.
Well, I don't need the digital copy. I'm like,
I don't need that. What do I need that for? Why does he talk like Rocky all of a sudden?
that's how he talks.
Oh.
He looks like Nick Frost from all the British, like
Yes.
Shaun of the Dead and all those movies and stuff. Chucky looks exactly like Nick Frost to me. And in fact, speaking of Nick Frost, there's a show that's on regular Amazon Prime from the BBC from the early 2000s. It's called Hyperdrive. And it's only a half-hour comedy. Doesn't have a laugh track, thank God. Doesn't need a laugh track. Very funny. And it's really like the Orville, where it's basically a kind of Star Trek almost template of a ship in deep space, and supposedly the UK has now its own space program, and it's exploring deep space, doing first contact missions with planets to arrange commerce with the UK and these planets and stuff. And Nick Frost is the captain. And it's funny. It's very Orville-esque, but it's only a half hour long, as it should be. And it's a really, really funny show. And I would, if anyone watching wants to watch it, I would suggest you start with the second episode more so than the first one. They're all self-contained, and really like there is no like story progression where you need to see the first episode. They explain the concept of the show in the opening and the theme music for the show and everything. And the second episode is really funnier than the first one, so I would just say start with that, and you'll enjoy it. So,
does it suck real bad like the Orville?
No, it's good. Honestly, I think it's funny because I think Nick Frost is funny. And then, do you guys remember that Melissa McCarthy movie Spy, where she's like normally she's somebody back at headquarters, and she's a voice in a spy in the field's ear, and with the satellite cameras is like, okay, go that way or whatever. That's her normal job. And then she finds herself in the field, and her voice in her ear is one of her best friends back at the home base. And it's this British comedian who's very funny, and she's in this hyperdrive as well, and she's one of the command crew officers with Nick Frost, and I think she's very funny. And yeah, it's good. I liked it a lot. It's like Galaxy Quest in a good way.
And I do like the Orville, for real.
Yeah, boy. See, me and Skoke like the Orville, man.
I do. I genuinely do.
Man, I can't wait for that third season. Well, I don't know what the hell it's taking so long.
I'm glad they're still doing it.
And unfortunately, it sounds like that's the only season they're going to do on Hulu.
Oh,
Well,
that's a shame.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I really felt like it got better in the second season, and I am convinced that maybe that's why they took their time with this third season. They wanted to be as good as it can be. I don't know.
I hope so. I hope that's true.
Did you know it was First Contact Day Monday as far as Star Trek goes? I had no idea until halfway through Monday.
I heard about that. Is that like the exact day for? And explain to me what that was exactly.
Well, in the movie Star Trek First Contact, one of the Next Generation movies, they actually give April 5th, whatever year it was, 21, whatever. That's supposedly when the Vulcans landed on Earth and the humans had first contact with their first alien race, and it's the Vulcans. And it was all this year happens to be the 25th anniversary of the First Contact movie. So they did a bunch of panels, and it gave them an excuse to tease new dates for the new Star Trek shows that are coming up. But they did a 40-minute panel, and it was Patrick Stewart. I'll say characters. It's faster. Picard, Riker, Data, and Wesley was the moderator of the panel. And they had the Borg Queen, Alice Krieg, on there as well. And it's the first time I've ever seen her on camera doing any sort of Star Trek thing. And it was cool. They actually had, interesting stories about the making of that movie in general. And then they had, and you'll appreciate this because they had a half-hour panel about comedy in Star Trek in general. And it was Paul F. Tompkins, because he hosts one of the new Trek podcasts, one of the official podcasts, with the woman that plays the character on Lower Decks. What's her name, Franco? The lead young lady.
I don't know. I tried to block a lot of that out.
I know. I feel the same way. What the hell's her name? I can't remember.
Not Boimler.
The lady.
Boimler's
Denver.
Yeah. What's it?
Denver.
Mariner.
Yes, Marinara. Yes.
Yeah. Mariner. We call her Marinar because we don't like her. Because she's a bad character. But it's Paul F. Tompkins, Jonathan Frakes, Riker, Data, and was there a fourth? Maybe Patrick Stewart. I can't remember. But it annoyed me because let's analyze comedy in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. Is it necessary? What makes for a good comedy? And it's like, don't analyze comedy. Do us all a favor. Don't analyze.
It's not going to be funny.
It's not. Yeah. And it wasn't. So, but whatever. But the news they gave was Lower Decks is coming back. Oh, it was actually it was the creator of Lower Decks, Mike McMahon, who honestly, I like him. I mean, I don't agree. I was more disappointed than happy with Lower Decks. It was the first season. I give and who the hell am I? But every Star Trek, like I say, every week I'm like, well, maybe I'll like this episode. Maybe I'll like this. And I mean it. It's genuine. It's like, I hope so. But so Lower Decks is coming back for its second season in August. So really only 4 months away. They haven't given a date yet for Star Trek Prodigy, the kids show, but they did put out, and I'll see if I can find an image.
They released some images, right?
Yeah, Janeway. And also they said Janeway is a hologram on the ship, and that's why she's still Captain Janeway and not Admiral.
Oh, like Robert Picardo,
right?
The Doctor, yeah.
Right. So, because the whole point of Prodigy is a group of kids find an old Starfleet ship and figure out how to make it work, and all of a sudden they're launched into deep space, and that's where they're.
So it takes place in the future, then, because why is Janeway the hologram?
I don't know. I don't know. That explanation wasn't given, but
I need you to have these answers immediately, Johnny.
I understand. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let you down.
I did read about that, and I read about how people were already commenting about how why does the hologram have a cup of coffee it's drinking? Like, people were upset about.
Hilarious.
Like, they're like, why is she drinking coffee? Holograms don't need to drink coffee.
Well, they're not wrong, I guess.
Very silly.
It's very silly.
Very silly. How about I heard something else about Pickard season 2 that they talked about.
They've teased it that they're doing it.
With Q, right? Q.
Right. Yeah, there's a teaser video that doesn't show anybody, and all it shows is Picard's chateau. Hello. I'm sorry, I'm saving an image to show you guys Janeway as a cartoon. They didn't give a date, but they said 2022. But they did say that season 4 of Discovery will begin in 2021. So unless something changes and they push it down a little further, that is the plan. So that's thing to know, that we are going to get at least another season of Lower Deck and Discovery before the end of the year.
Boy.
Well, and I was wondering, just because, and they still haven't said when Prodigy will begin, but it's.
I think those kids are going to use that Janeway and do hologram porn or something in the holodeck.
That was at the end of the Trekkies documentary. They show a bunch of different people doing stand up, and they have a guy saying, "If I were Wesley and I was on that spaceship with a hologram, are you kidding? A holodeck? Are you kidding me?" And he did the Picard voice. He's like, "Wesley, I think you need to have a meeting with Counselor Troy." And Wesley goes, "This is Counselor Troy." So, all right. Here's Kate Mulgrew and her cartoon self.
Wow.
She's doing the voice too, I heard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, how about that? I gave her the word balloon coming out of her. Look, it's a word balloon coming out of my cartoon face. I like it.
That's a good Janeway voice.
Thank you.
The animation looks pretty cool.
7, you don't understand humans, whatever. Can you see my beard, by the way?
Yes. You're becoming...
beyond my hair being out of control, I haven't shaved in over a week, so.
I thought it was I thought it was a Wonder Bread bag at first, but
it is a Wonder Bread bag, exactly. So I can put galoshes on my head.
Mirror, Yoko chips.
True, I'm evil. Yeah, I'm evil. Mirror Universe Yoko chips. Yes, long live the Empire. So, well, that's good because I didn't know how long. I didn't know how long the wait's going to be before the next Star Trek.
I know you guys are going to disagree with me, but I liked Pickard. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next season.
Hey man, like I say, if you liked it, that's awesome. there were just story things, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, there's a Borg cube, and the Romulans own it, and apparently there are Federation people that are working on it, and that's like, and it wasn't until the 6th episode where finally Picard's like, oh, the Borg cube, of course, blah blah blah, and it's like, does it, like, wouldn't Starfleet be like, let's just make sure everything's on there, you know, normal and stuff, and so the Romulans aren't, I don't know, doing the experiments they happen to be doing. It just seemed like it didn't make sense to me. Like, it'd be fine if it was just in, like, whatever part of Romulan space wasn't affected by the explosion and everything of Romulus, and that they were just doing their thing, and if there were only Romulans doing it, okay, that's Romulan business, whatever, we don't know what's happening, that's fine. But the fact that they opened it up to Trills and humans and stuff, supposedly, and it's like, okay, like, it would be like, you know, an American going to work for Russia, and, you know, like, the U.S. government be like, yeah, okay, we don't know what's happening. And it's like, I don't think it works that way. I don't know. And wouldn't you think the Klingons would at least from an expository standpoint, you've opened up a can of worms here, Skoke, if you didn't.
I know. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Welcome. Here, hold on. I should play it. Where is it?
I was just going to say, I don't blame Skoke for liking all that stuff, because he was brought up by priests and nuns, but...
We interrupt this podcast to bring you another edition of Trek. No, I'm kidding.
I was just going to say that I don't blame Skokie, because he was brought up by priests and nuns, so that's why. But I like the tangent that you let him rip on here. He's going to go on for hours about Pickard now.
Yeah, exactly.
To put my opinion of that show into context,
please.
I'm someone who saw all 7 seasons of Next Generation. I saw all the TNG movies except for Nemesis. I still haven't seen that one.
Oh wow! Go on.
I haven't seen the original series. I haven't seen. I've seen episodes here and there of Voyager.
Sure.
Nothing of Enterprise. So my knowledge of everything is not as deep as your guys' understanding of everything is. So I think maybe someone like me sees it differently than someone who has more knowledge of the whole universe.
Well, I mean, the problems I had with it would be in the context of Next Generation and everything that came afterwards. So, I mean, Discovery I don't like because of the way it does conflict with
everything,
the original series continuity as it was originally put out there. I'll admit that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the problems I had with Picard really were like, wouldn't you think the Klingons would have something, given how much they hate the Romulans? And if they had a Borg cube, at least even in an expository way, just have suddenly the Klingon Empire has its issues with the Romulans having the Borg. Just that kind of throwaway line would have been fine. But also, I really hate how they've made the Federation a mirror image of, say, I don't know, I think maybe the Trump administration while it was happening, and there's xenophobia towards the other planets, and it even gets worse in the 3rd season of Discovery. And I'm like, I don't know, man, that just kind of pisses me off, because Roddenberry's whole point of Star Trek from the beginning was Earth has solved all these xenophobic issues. Mm-hmm. We are of one people. We are the people of Earth. And it's interesting, Jamal Igoe. I don't know if you saw this, Francis, today, and I love Jamal, and I would be something I would love to discuss on a future Star Trek themed episode.
We got to bring him on.
But he said, "Don't you think the Federation is choosy about which planets they want to join the Federation, and that they're very careful about who gets to join the club and not, in terms of sharing their technology and everything they have that the Federation has to offer?" And I'm like, well, Prime Directive. I'm like, yeah, that's the reason why you don't go to a underdeveloped planet and share this information with them, because it's like, hey, you want to give cavemen nuclear weapons?
Yeah.
Idea. I don't know. But then again, I can also appreciate from a person of color perspective, perhaps, I'm assuming this, I didn't ask Jamal specifically, but that it's kind of that white colonialism shit that that is legit in older literature, but some have even said that about Star Trek, even Next Generation Star Trek, where it's like, oh yeah, here comes the white guy to kind of, you know, give the underprivileged planets and stuff all their great technology. And I'm, you know, in the same kind of white colonialism way that a lot of stories are perceived from decades earlier. And it's like, okay, I mean, it's a point of view. I just think that it's, I don't agree with it. I really do believe that
I think it's become that. I don't think it was that with Roddenberry's original idea, because he wouldn't have had so many diverse, actors and people of color on. Well, you know, they didn't have a lot, but they had the groundbreaking ones. You know, the first female there, the kiss, and all that other stuff. So I think he tried. That's my opinion. That I think he tried to bring this all, but I think since then, I could see that point of view, Jamal's point of view.
But again, and then, you know, Jamal's close enough to our age where I understand a younger person might think that, and also again, as they were raised. But I do think it's important, as you just said, to point out, well, that may be the perception, but I don't think that was Roddenberry's intent. And while I think it's fair to raise the question, I do think it's important for someone to go, yeah, but, you know, Gene had black people and Asian people and Russian people on a 1960s American sci-fi show,
right,
where the Soviets were our enemies, and there were civil rights and you know, culture.
There were people that were pissed about all that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And Roddenberry's like, no, in the future, we're going to solve all that shit. So I think, while it's fair to
why
say,
was he wrong?
well, you know, and
No,
there's yeah, but you know, honestly, Franco, that's like, maybe that's the point that the writers are making,
Right.
that with the best intentions, we're human beings and we're still going to be assholes at the end. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, again, forgive me for breaking into a Star Trek tangent. And Brad wants to know, do we think they'll ever make another Star Trek movie? I think they will. I don't know how long it's going to take, because beyond getting whatever they think would be the right formula for a movie, Paramount's like one of the most messed up studios, because they haven't had that many hits in the last 5 or 6 years. And the ability to make big budget movies are contingent on what have you done for me lately.
Right.
And it's not like they're sitting on a pile of cash. They need to go to creditors to finance these films. And, you know, when it comes to Star Trek, those last 2 movies were bombs. They were bombs. They didn't bring in the money they were hoping for, if they broke even at all. So,
Yep.
There you go.
To go on another Star Trek tangent, have either of you guys heard the Spock versus Q things? Yeah, there are 2 of them, right?
Yes.
I listened to both of them. I enjoyed them.
I have not. Explain to me.
Leonard Nimoy and John Delancey did live readings of this script, this what if basically Spock met Q.
I
remember
this. Okay.
What would those conversations be like? And there was some small plot to it, but the main attraction was just hearing those 2 characters talk to each other.
Right.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed those.
And they were tied to a charity, and I can't remember which charity it was they did. And Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy, as I like to call him, as they call him in the Spitting Image puppet show, Mr. Leonard Nimoy. He did a radio show for a while on public radio called Alien Voices, and he would assemble a full cast, and they would do classic sci-fi stories like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and you know, things like that, Time Machine and things. And Delancey was one of the voice actors and stuff. And I'm so glad that whoever wrote Spock versus Q came up with that concept, because yeah, it was. I mean, that's like, there really is a tall order for anyone to try to fill Spock's shoes. I think even more than Captain Kirk's shoes, because I mean, Nimoy, just with his voice. I mean, also like those great Big Bang scenes where Sheldon would be talking to his little Spock action figure, and they got Nimoy to voice it and stuff. And it's just, there's just this, like, he just understood the character, and it was that wonderful veneer of superiority when Spock was being logical. Whereas when Zachary Quinto would do it in the JJ movies, he came off like a jerk. And Nimoy, it's just I'm sorry, I'm coming from a different wavelength, and he managed to do it in a charming way that we never felt offended when he would crap on human beings and stuff. Really, Doctor, and she, just even in the worst movies, even in Star Trek V, there are some awesome Spock and McCoy and Spock and Kirk moments in that terrible movie. So I don't know that, and again, the other thing that drives me nuts about the current Star Trek regime is that they really are trying so hard to minimize Shatner. And it's like, I don't know how to break it to you all, but we wouldn't have been talking about that show for 20 years if it hadn't been for Shatner and his performance. And I know he's difficult, and I know he can be arrogant, and I know he could be demanding. Sorry, it all started with Captain Kirk, and he's 90 years old, and he's not going to be around forever. And I look forward to the hypocrisy when he dies. And Star Trek mourns the loss of William Shatner. And it's like, well, if you're really mourning the loss of William Shatner, you should have had him on First Contact Day. You should have had him on Star Trek Day back in September.
Right.
Obviously, yeah, I'm still talking about it. It infuriates me. It really does.
Footnote on Shatner. He's in a movie that I think is about to be released or was just released. Some sort of comedy with Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know what it's called.
Where they play older peoples.
Yes.
Oh, again, he just turned 90.
Yes.
And he's the youngest 90-year-old I've ever seen because he really has so much energy and is still constant, as evidenced by this movie. I mean, it's incredible that he works as much as he does. Yeah. And is still funny as hell when he puts the charm on and stuff.
Yeah, he has all his brains.
Yeah.
And he's selling CPAP machines or something too, isn't he?
Yes, he is. It's true. It's fine. Don says he just started watching original Trek again. Was fascinated how Nimoy created and honed Spock in the beginning. Well, yeah, and again, that kind of gives New Trek the license to have Spock smile and not be fully, stoic as he became. And if you watch those a lot of early first season episodes of the original series, he is smiling and stuff. And it's like, well, they hadn't figured out the character yet. It wasn't that Spock was like that. It was the writers hadn't really gone, oh, this will be an interesting contrast, especially to over-the-top Shatner. Let's make Nimoy even more distant and remote and everything. But that's my opinion. Hey, look who's joining us, everybody. The best in the business. Boy, oh boy.
You guys still talking Star Trek?
Welcome to the Oh Yeah podcast.
Yeah, just be happy you didn't come in on the porn sections. That's all.
I'll see you guys later.
All right, come back, dumbass.
I watched a program recently with a young Leonard Nimoy in it. It was his 5th appearance on screen. It was a serial from the 1950s called Zombies from the Stratosphere. It was like a 12-episode thing, yes, and he was in that. Barely recognizable. He looks so young.
That's the iconic 50s character that the Rocketeer was based on.
Is that right?
Commander Cody, yeah. I'll find a picture. But he's one of the aliens. Yeah.
I just recently saw an episode of Emergency with John Delancey. He was a doctor or something on the episode. So Q was on Emergency recently.
Oh, awesome.
Well, not recently, but I saw it recently. Scoot doesn't know what we're talking about.
No, I don't. I heard Star Trek, so I left the studio.
Yeah, we saw. It's video. I don't know if you knew that. I don't know how to break it to you, Scoot. We're on video.
Let me know when you're going to start podding then.
Okay, right away. Let me tell you what I don't like about it. No.
You used to have the you took it down now, but back there on that mannequin, you had Jar Jar's Jar Jar. Who's Jar Jar?
Yeah.
Jar Jor-El.
That's
He's in
Star
the Star
Trek.
Wars Triple X, Jar Jar.
That's Star Trek.
You had his corpse draped over that mannequin. It's gone now. Did you bury it?
We ate him.
You ate him.
Yeah.
Okay, delicious.
Washed it down with a jug.
Muy delicious. Muy.
What's this?
We washed it down with a jug of water.
Nice.
What are you guys doing? What's Franco doing?
We're talking about Star Trek.
Yeah, we're just talking.
No, I was gonna. We got video lined up. I was gonna wait and see if Artie's gonna join us, but we've got some more footage coming up of Skoke's career.
Some footage, real thick footage.
By now, Scooter's on 5 sketches. So, you didn't miss it. Hey, we started the show with Jamie Farr, incidentally.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
The classic.
Yeah, my computer froze, so I wanted to make sure everything was working right. So I played Jamie's cameo to us.
Yoko
And the other mic.
Chips.
Other Mike, yeah.
Yoko Chips wanted me to say hello to all the guys.
And
That still kills me every time I hear him say Yoko Chips.
and he holds up that picture for me.
Yes. And here's a postcard of Pecos.
In case you forgot what Pecos looks like.
You live in Toledo, but here's a picture of it.
In case you didn't know,
You don't know where it was.
Well, God bless him.
He's probably watching.
He's probably out there watching.
Yeah. Hey, I don't appreciate the shit you're saying about it.
I like Pink very much, Lois.
Here's Commander Cody from that aforementioned Leonard Nimoy project.
She's Lebanese. From
Oh, there he
Toledo.
is.
Yeah, there he is. That's him.
Yep.
Bullet head.
That helmet and that rocket pack. And
Dude,
he has not.
I was gonna say if I could draw, I would, because I know the characters in public domain, that design, I would be making Commander Cody comics all the time. So
listen, I think we all know that you can draw now. It's been revealed to the world publicly from last week's episode of Catching Up with Franco that Johnny can indeed draw.
It's true.
If you missed it, I've got my just like on the kids shows. Oh, look, little Johnny Suntress, who's 7 years old. Sent us this lovely picture. we think it's Jay Garrick, the Flash, but he claims it's Captain Marvel.
So somebody online said he looked a little like George Burns.
I know, I love it. It was if George Burns were the Flash,
Yeah.
I gotta go out and run super fast. I hope you don't mind.
Skoke, you're gonna have to come on and draw too, Skoke. Oh,
Yeah.
look, it's a picture of Skoke.
There's my Barney Rubble. Yes, but I think I got to tell you, I'm very proud of the Papa.
It looks like me a little bit.
Wow.
They both look like you,
Wow.
Barney Rubble and Popeye.
I got to. Oh, I should. I can't. It's on my phone. It would take too long. I was so happy Sunday morning. I'm watching the Flintstones, and they have an episode where Fred and Barney, they buy a camera, and they're going around door to door and trying to get their neighbors to buy baby pictures from them and stuff. And it's great. And they're going to the door, and a wife sees they're coming in the window, and she's like, "George, it's Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble. They're probably coming over with one of their great get-rich-quick schemes." So to ward them away, they put a quarantine sign on the front door, and it's great. So there's this great shot of Barney looking at the door, and it says quarantine. And I wrote, "Damn!" I go, "COVID has even hit bedrock at this point." Oh, shit, Fred.
That's how badly they didn't want Fred and Barney to come in. They faked COVID.
I loved it though. I love that show. Man, it's the best.
If they do a Popeye reboot of that musical movie, I want in on that. Like Steven Spielberg, I know you're watching, and I know you'd be the one making that movie, of course. So think of me, will you? I'm ready.
He's listening to the Oh Yeah podcast.
He
That's
is.
what he's doing.
Jamie Farr is.
Here it is. Okay.
Tom Hanks listens to the Oh Yeah podcast.
I'm so glad you mentioned Popeye, and I think we might have talked about this in the past, but they redesigned Popeye to make him more politically correct because, of course, Popeye smoked, and I can't. Well, of course, as we showed on our last.
Now he vapes, right? They updated.
Well, he vapes.
He's drunk all the time.
Wow. Gosh, This vape is grape flavor.
Gosh, Olive, this
Olive's
is some hit.
Well, you know, like I showed the great shots of Bluto strangling Olive.
Yeah.
That's not spinach.
Blow me down.
Spinach
This is-
flavored vape. That's what
This is
he's going
Johnny's spinach.
It's true. Wow.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
It's
Not
That's great.
Popeye
It's gonna-
XXX.
you see, I have these ideas and then I forget and I don't put them up. I was gonna play on my phone the karaoke version of "Tell Me Something Good," and because you ate that. Wow.
Is that what that's from? I didn't know that was from
Well,
something.
that was my inspiration, and I already knew it too. And so that's that the bass line and that wow. So yeah, that's our attempt at doing music for when we're rocking the G.
We finally get the origin story behind Wa.
But they, I guess because again, Popeye smoked. You can go on YouTube, and if you again bring your hammer, because you should watch the full cartoon. But here's a shot of the cast of the revamped Popeye. And
Why?
See, I don't listen.
No,
That's
I'm
not
just-
real. Is
Isn't
that
that
real?
terrible?
that's
I
not
swear-
real.
I swear to God, it's real. I swear.
What's
to
in his?
God.
What is he vaping? He's vaping there, right? What is
it?
it?
Looks like it does look like he's vaping. It's actually a whistle. So instead of his pipe making the whistle sound, it's a real whistle. It's so bad.
I like
And
that
it's
to
like-
get to the origin of the Umwa song, we had to get through a Popeye porn.
But- Look how they're all like either they gotta all be doing like cocaine or something because look how happy they all are. The
not
Jeep,
Pluto, he's pissed.
Squeaky, and Olive, except Bluto. Of course, Bluto can't be.
Why
Where's
doesn't he
his
have a beard?
I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
like it.
I don't know. I don't
Beards
know.
are popular now.
Yeah,
Where's-
beards are. Yeah. That's anti-beard. If you give a beard, then you're face hair shaming. I guess if he had a beard, I don't really know.
I don't like any of that. No,
Where's
Yeah,
Seahag?
as Brad says, it is real. He's seen it on. I didn't even know it was on
it's
Amazon.
it's
Prime.
already out. Why?
Animated?
Yeah, for real. I mean, guys, it is so like mind-numbingly bad.
Wow.
And it's in again, thanks for taking one of the funniest things ever. 30s black and white Popeye. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, and now it's complete crap. I mean, it was pretty like the last iteration of the cartoons from the late 50s or early 60s, where it's Brutus instead of Bluto. Those are pretty rough to watch too, but they have their own appeal. They're okay.
Yeah.
But the best ones are the black and white.
In this new iteration, how much choking is there going on?
I don't think any.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that like the toughest thing that happens is Bluto steals some candy from Sweepy or something.
I think we need
And
to kind of get a hold of these
Wimpy.
episodes and edit them down and make the D choking version or the choke versions of
Yeah.
them, and we'll sell
Yeah.
them along with the de-acidified version of the porn pictures that we're gonna make.
What you
Admit
don't
your
see on
show.
there is Wimpy. He doesn't eat burgers anymore. He eats
Right.
salad.
Because that's like a gluttony thing. You're 100% like Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
They don't, Oh, and by the way, okay, I understood. I disagreed with, but I understood taking Pepe Le Pew out of Space Jam 2, which I hope sucks really bad. I really hope it sucks bad.
Well, the
It looked
original
pretty
one's
cool.
not very good.
Thank you, Scoot. I agree. And again, maybe I was an old man thinking that, but that makes me feel a little bit better given that you're
Michael
Bill
Jordan-
Murray was the best part of that original movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, they de-sexified, they de-assified Lola Bunny. And I'm like, you're really a hardcore perv if you thought Lola Bunny was like overly sexualized in Space Jam 1. It's like, I don't even want to know what's going
Well,
on.
Johnny, obviously you haven't seen the porn version of these cartoons.
Oh, I have.
I have.
Of course I have. Of course I have. I've seen
So I
porn.
have.
The stuff we were talking about earlier. Are you kidding? That's the tip of the iceberg. No pun intended. Speaking of a tip of the iceberg, look at this.
Oh boy.
So
Well, I can't help but notice with Lola Bunny that they gave her a full length T-shirt, but they also added some bonus material on the back there.
bonus material. Why? What?
Bonus material. That's she's just she's got
Baby got back.
extra-
You said,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, exactly.
got back.
Thank you. I'm struggling with my words.
All right. Bunny got back, apparently. Yes. Thank you.
Bunny got bounced.
Bunny got back. I like big butted rabbits, and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
All right, then.
I'm glad nobody's on the show right now.
Wayne
Glad
fans,
nobody's watching.
fans of Omaha the Cat Dancer love Lola Bunny, of course. Doll. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, sorry. Boy, that Lola Bunny. Hey, Pervo.
Hassenpfeffer.
Boy, oh boy. Hey, look who's on the court. It's Lola Bunny. Boy, oh boy. I'd like to hit that. What do you think, Stoney? I think it's a cartoon character, Harry.
No, look at her. She's a bunny. I'm not going to apologize.
Look at her.
Look at those ears. I'm not going to apologize. She's a bunny.
She's got rabbit ears.
Look at her. So,
Rabbit ears.
too
Oh,
funny.
boy.
They got some bonus material.
It's funny that everyone got mad about Pepe Le Pew like not being in there, but they haven't been watching the shows for like years. You know what I mean?
Well, I think couldn't they have left Pepe in and make it a teaching lesson that Pepe is being a horn dog?
They
And
could have rehabilitated him, right?
Down by whatever female, whether it's a live action female or a cartoon female, could slap him down. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
It's now time to decide between Wilma and Betty, says Wayne. Oh, it's got to be Betty. Sorry.
Betty.
Because Betty has normalized as opposed to the dots like that Wilma has.
Wilma's high all the time.
Fran. So my 70-year-old cousin, had no idea that Betty was also the mom on Petticoat Junction and George and Gracie's neighbor on Burns and Allen. I'm like, yeah, B. Benaderet. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's Betty Rubble. I had no idea.
Now you know.
I don't
It's
know what you're
weird.
talking about.
Mark says it's weird cutting out Pepe, but having the drugs from Clockwork Orange in the movie instead.
Are they in there?
Hello, my brothers.
Yeah, there's a Pennywise the Clown is in the movie too. He's in the
Oh,
background of one of the scenes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a minute. What's happening with this movie? I thought it was a basketball movie with cartoons. What's going on?
And he eats children.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. When I was doing conventions in Salt Lake City,
Salt Lake City.
in the crowd cosplaying was the guy doing Pennywise, and it scared the shit out of me. It's like it didn't really scare me, but I'm like, all right, I don't need an evil clown watching me do a panel right now. Thank you.
In my classroom, when you go to get paper because I have it on the shelf, you have to open up this cabinet. And right inside the door is a big picture of Pennywise the Clown, and kids are always like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just look forward to LeBron trying to match Jordan in comic stylings. And again, not that Jordan was any
acting chops.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. Good luck. Good luck, LeBron.
Scoot, is is Cleveland okay with LeBron now? Or are they still mad at him?
They're okay since he brought him a title, the only title in the city since like the 40s or whatever.
Right, since the Indians.
Yeah.
In Toledo, are they okay with Klinger now?
Yeah. They're okay with
son.
him. They inducted him into the Mud Hens Hall of Fame. Klinger.
Oh, really? Wow.
Not Jamie Farr, but Klinger.
Right. You know, this jersey, Mish, from Mish.
It's a little gamey from Jamie.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
I hope to go. I have to make the journey someday and see that gamey from Jamie shirt.
See, that's beautiful. Very good, Scoot.
That's
Well done.
excellent.
There he is.
Boom.
No, put a whistle. Get the
That's
pipe
what he
out
should
of there.
look like.
Get the pipe out of there. Put a whistle in.
That's good.
Here, wait.
Oh,
I'm going to fix it. Look.
And
This
they
is
got
all- This is all they had to do. And I don't know why they did that dumb whistle because all you
Put
had
a
to do.
post-it note and put a whistle.
drop Popeye with a
Are
big.
you putting bubbles in there?
I was going to say, I bet he's putting bubbles in
Yeah.
it.
There, that's all you had to
There you
do.
go.
There.
No,
See?
exactly.
Draw Popeye with a big nose.
So I ask you people, that lovely shot that Scoot had versus this bullshit.
Scoot wins.
Look, they even gave more hair. Look at the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Peeking out of the stupid cap.
Well, I think he's supposed to be young.
Bald or whatever.
He looks like he's like 20 in that picture.
Yeah, then what's Sweepy doing in there? Come on now.
I bet he doesn't run anymore where he throws his body in front of him. Like, I love when he used to do that. Are his arms? No, his arms are deformed. There they are.
Yep.
Okay. And again, Bluto kind of heavy, but not quite fat. And look at Olive with the peace sign. Ow. Make love, not war. Ow.
This is a show I never want to watch. That's a show I never want to watch.
They had one either from the 80s or the 90s that I saw on Amazon Prime, and it's called Popeye and Son. And
I remember that one.
And Bluto has a son, and Popeye has a son, and they're in school together and stuff.
Yeah, I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Oh,
That was better than this, though.
I've never seen this version that you just showed, but I guarantee the Popeye and Son is better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dave Coulier did Popeye's voice.
Yeah, all right. Whatever. I don't think it's much of a cockroach race, as I like to say. So, but whatever, whatever floats your proverbial Popeye boat is fine with me.
Wow.
On Saturday mornings on MeTV, they do an hour of Popeye cartoons, an hour of Tom and Jerry, and an hour of Looney Tunes. And it's all
I don't think I like the host guy because they show up on Svengoolie every once in a while.
Yeah, that's
the cross promotion.
Yeah, and that's the daily morning show that's on at like 7 Eastern time and 6 our time. But this is a Saturday morning show, and that guy's not on the Saturday morning show. It's just the cartoons, and the cartoons are great.
Oh, because that Toonie thing is driving me nuts.
Hey,
on Svengoolie.
Rod Rice says hello, Francis, and wants to you to follow up on whatever you wanted to talk to him about. But I talked to him last night, and I had a new Susha report, and it's terrible. Like, she suggested, and she's being kind of canceled even in Brazil for saying this, but it's kind of one of those things where I get it from where she was coming from, but I don't think she realized what she was saying. But she was like, she's a big vegan now and a big PETA person. And she said, instead of experimenting on animals, they ought to experiment on prisoners, convicts with COVID or anything that they experiment with animals on. And it's like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Susha. So here's Susha in her prime.
I remember her.
So
cutie.
And did you used to watch that show, her children's show?
Yeah. Well, no, I remember commercials for it during Saturday morning cartoons.
I would watch it.
What show was it?
Why isn't that on Amazon Prime?
Well, I've got 2 stills from the Susha show, and what disturbs me about Susha, for people who don't know who Susha is, it's XUXA, and you can find clips on YouTube. But it was this international children's show. And she would dance and sing surrounded by children, and they'd be waving little international flags representing their countries and stuff. And she would dance with essentially furries, big giant animals, fur costumes and stuff. But she was always dressed, as Harry would say, very provocatively for a children's host. For example, there's Susha in her fine little boots and her tiny little shorts, and her half shirt showing her belly. And look, she's got a little admiral outfit on. She got the majorettes all shaking their batons, if you will. Boy, oh boy. And then you can see kids in the background. This is a better one, although here I think she looks like if Susha were Doris Day. I like the little sunflower in her hat and everything, but I like the I like the leopard, and I like the very scary. Oh, panda! Hey, Susha, would you give me a lap dance?
See, that's the stuff of nightmares right there.
Totally.
Panda looks like Brad Garrett.
And what's on weekday mornings? Which one? Panda looks like Brad Garrett.
Yeah.
Raymond, I'm getting.
I don't like that Susha.
Another Popeye drawing.
Oh, there you go. It's me as Popeye.
That's Popeye with plastic surgery.
Yeah, that's a new Popeye.
Young Popeye.
I want to. That's beautiful. Jesus. I'm so taking a picture of that and putting it on my Instagram.
Yes,
he had plastic surgery right there. Look at him.
Yeah.
I look much better, don't I, Skip?
He doesn't talk like that either. He talks like this.
Exactly. Hi, I'm Popeye. Tweet. But yes, because I love Rod's from Brazil, and the first time I talked to Rod, I also talked to Joe Prado from Brazil, another great artist, comic artist. And I'm like, so guys, what's going on with Susha? And they were laughing. They're like, how do you know Susha? And I'm like, every morning at 7 a.m., I had to watch your show. And I would make my roommate, who now writes for the Wall Street Journal, a very, straight up journalist. I'm like, look at this Bizarre Kids show. And he's like, Jesus, what the hell, man? He goes, she should be at, the Admiral Theater grinding on some guy right now. What the hell? It's like, I don't know.
She was cute. I love that show.
Oh, she's adorable. Look at that face. She's adorable. And of course, she used to sleep with John F. Kennedy Jr. I am hitting that every night. Thank you very much. So
look at her. I liked how Scoots Popeye had sideburns.
Oh, the whole shot, man.
He's hip. He's all hip. Look at him.
Hi, how are you? I'm Popeye.
Now I want you to draw. I want you to draw the old Olive next to the new Olive. I want you to do that.
Yeah, now you got to do sexy Olive.
I'm drawing Bluto right now.
Oh boy.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Hey, I want plastic surgery too.
I gotta bring that picture again. It was on my computer that fried. I'd pop it right up. Those great pictures of him throttling Olive. Yeah, kiss me, baby. No, fine. I'll choke you to death. Ah!
Oh boy.
We're like Bart and Lisa laughing at Itchy and Scratchy. So there we go. Rod says Google Susha plus Amor Estrano Amor. It must be a song. Thank you, Rod. Rod, seriously, I love that Rod absolutely, like, every time he comes on, I'm like, all right, I demand a Susha update. And thankfully, she makes the papers enough times. He's like, I actually have one. And I'm like, great.
I'm going to contact you, Rod. We're going to talk. We'll talk about stuff.
Oh, that's funny. It says Bluto after liposuction. Look fantastic.
It looked like, you ever see that episode of Family Guy with when Peter gets he gets all slimmed down and he's got the jaw and everything. He looks so weird.
Yep. Yeah. He's got the Jay Leno jaw. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Lois. Good stuff. I'm not kidding. I love that. Well, I don't know if Artie's coming, so I want. Hit us. Yeah, we want to show some new footage of school. We'll start an expanded cut of Spring Break Lawyer.
Ooh, I haven't seen this. I want to see it. Yeah,
because everybody's been clamoring for more footage of Spring Break Lawyer.
So it's the same footage we've seen 30 times already, right? Except with like another second added on.
Yeah, I feel like Johnny Carson. Do we have to shut up this clip, or can we just run it?
Well, the Spring Break Lawyer is pleading his case near the end of the film, and something lets loose in the courtroom. Let's take a look. Oh, look who's there!
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome to the All Yeah podcast.
Did the Sox win? They were kind of.
I don't know. I lost them in the car. There was this fifth inning, and I
texted you guys the other night. I was watching them opening night. I said I happened to come across them on TV, and I'm like, in honor of Artie, the Sox are playing. I got to watch it, so I watched them.
Yeah,
I fell asleep before the last I saw them. They were tied 3-3.
Did you see the very first game? Did you see your mean Mercedes?
Oh, I'm sorry, Artie.
Did they lose today?
Yeah, they lost.
I know they were losing like 7-4 or something like that.
Wow, look at that!
When I thought they were winning 4-3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great Bluto. Stand by.
Bluto's addicted to heroin.
He looks like a thick Kurt Wood.
Look at Popeye though.
Yeah, Popeye looks like Skoke. Yeah.
Artie, you know why I'm redesigning them, don't you?
I do not.
Oh, you got to show them, Johnny.
Yeah, show them, Johnny.
Artie, they decided that Popeye is no longer PC in his original design.
Oh,
So this is the way Popeye looks
well,
now.
because he's a straight white male. Of course, he's no longer acceptable. You know, that's
Stand
his
by.
weakness.
Here
His
they are.
weakness is not being cool and diverse. Whoa, he's a kid now.
He's got a whistle.
And
Oh, I see, and it
instead
comes
a
out of
pipe-
his nose.
But Franco's right. He thought he was vaping instead of.
Oh,
having
he's probably
a pipe.
vaping. So
Yeah.
they're kids, because Olive always looked like that, but Bluto doesn't have a beard.
Right. And
So
doesn't.
what is this for real?
this
Is
is
this,
totally
fan,
for real.
this fan art?
So no, someone just said that they saw episodes on Amazon.
Is it good? Or is
I
it
don't know. What do you
All I
think?
saw-
I'm going to say no.
okay,
Okay.
I'm
How
gonna
come-
say no, too.
How come they
Uh,
didn't make Bluto black? That's
Black
the new
Bluto.
thing now.
I don't.
Why didn't they make him?
You're from the Black Lagoon.
I need more diversity in my Popeye characters.
That's a very arty. Actually, that's a
See?
very cogent point.
That's what.
Well, no,
that's
they
what
wouldn't,
everything
they wouldn't
does
make him
now.
that because he always gets beat up by Popeye. So why would
That's
you do
true.
that?
Why? If anything, make Popeye black.
Yeah,
Black by. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
Because he's the enemy now. Straight white
Well,
males.
They took the pipe away.
Suburban dads are no longer fun. You
They
know,
took
it's
the
not.
pipe away because of anti-smoking.
They took
they-
that away a while. That was in the late '80s or early '90s. They took it away. Take the
Well,
pipe.
well, instead now it's a whistle, which is like, yeah, thanks.
Because he goes toot. It's his toot toot.
Right. Well, it makes the same sound, but not the whistle.
It says toot toot.
When I was a
Wayne,
kid, I would say
Wayne
Popeye
said-
the Sailor Man. She. So it's
Wayne
his
says
she.
Bluto should have a man bun, Scoot.
Oh,
He
yeah.
should.
Well, he's got this scraggly ponytail, though.
Yeah, he looks like Lobo. It's like if Lobo and Bluto had a baby.
And he's missing some teeth, too.
I don't think they should bother with Popeye. They should just make something new. That would be good. Give someone an opportunity, like famous cartoonists who always pitches things. You
I've
know,
heard that.
I'm
I've
very
heard that.
diverse myself.
I know.
You know, all my characters are either green or blue or red, pink or
Well,
something.
that's because you're anti-green. You're a racist because you're anti-green and blue.
I'm a colorist.
It's true. You are a color.
I'm a pro colorist, professional colorist. Yeah.
You're also a letterer and a drawer,
Uh-huh.
artist, a
An
penciler.
inker. I bought
Yeah.
ink today. I'm very happy. I bought a bottle of ink today. The last time I bought a bottle of ink, my Gordy was a baby, and it lasted me almost 20 years. Well,
Wow.
just over 15 years. And I just bought my new bottle today. I'm gonna put a nipple on it and suckle on it later. You know, be one with the ink.
Circle on it.
So when I bleed, it'll come out. I'll do my blood sugar test, and it'll come out like with the comic book ink.
There's a lot of
That, like
octopus
Kirby
in your
Blacks.
blood. Yeah.
There's squid. Yeah, there's a lot of squid going on in my
Squid.
DNA. I'm part squid. I'm part Popeye. You know,
During your famous cartoonist paints things
Mhm.
show over the weekend, at one point you said you were mixing paint so you can make black,
yeah,
and you said it smells like squid in here.
yeah, it does. It does. Because the old bottles, if you don't open or they just get old, they start to ferment. It's like wine, but the ink ferments, especially if you shake it before you open it up, and it will
Yeah.
make you either pass out if you smell it directly. It's like sniffing glue.
We use it whenever we use it in the classroom. You open up an old bottle and you
Yeah.
have to vacate the room.
Yeah,
We always do it in the springtime so you can have the windows open.
yeah. The speedball ink is cool because it doesn't really settle. It stays a consistent black the whole time, which I really like. But it's the best one.
Okay.
I
who
found it
can
was good.
Who can name this character?
I could. Inky. No,
Oh, I don't know.
I know who it is.
Pennywise,
like
the dancing
Bobo or
clown.
something. He used to be with Betty Boop.
Close.
Yeah, he's from Fleischer Films.
He is absolutely. He was the first.
It's either
Fleischer
Bobo or
character.
Coco or
It
something.
is Coco. It is
Yeah.
Coco out of the Inkwell. Absolutely.
See, I told you.
So
I
he's
know all of them.
at the very end of Roger Rabbit when the crowd of
Yeah.
goons, he's in the crowd shot. He doesn't
That's
have
where-
any lines.
That's where Pennywise is in the Space Jam trailer. He's
I
in the
like-
crowd shot.
I like when they say he's not a woodpecker, he's not a pussy, he's not a wooden boy. What is he? What the hell is that? That's what the taxi cat says. And then Sylvester, he's not a pussy. I like that. I laughed out loud every time. All 5 times I seen Roger Rabbit in the theater. I LOL'd. For the kids out there watching, my very controversial statements of earlier, I will not repeat them because I don't want to get canceled like all these other good people are getting canceled across the internet for having an opinion that people don't like. But that's, I always heard it like going to school when they're like, what's truth? Truth, the difference between truth or opinion. And then I would get it right. And then it's no longer that way. But I don't know. I don't want to get canceled.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, sucks now.
You suck.
You suck, Baltazar.
Check this out. And Wayne has a good question about Popeye cigarettes.
Candy
No.
cigarettes?
Why does he? He doesn't need to.
He
No,
doesn't have cigarettes. He has a pipe. He smokes tobacco.
Oh no,
He
so
buys-
stand by for an image.
No, he buys
Oh.
edibles. He buys edibles.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do they still
Wow.
sell those to kids? Can you kids still? Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Tasty candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cornstarch and sugar and more
And
corn syrup.
and
All of
gelatin
that. And artificially flavored.
I got a sister
Artificially,
named
they
Glucose.
taste like cigarettes.
and glucose syrup.
They taste like cigarettes.
That's glucose syrup is olive oil's cousin.
Yeah, that's right. And palm
Sugar,
oil.
corn syrup, glucose syrup, which is more sugar.
Yeah, it's like cornstarch, then sugar, corn syrup, which is also sugar, glucose syrup, which is also sugar. It's like, here's 3 different ways that you could name sugar. Hey, that's 3 ingredients.
What's up, sugar? Hey, gelatine. I like gelatine.
Gelatin
Didn't he?
is fantastic. Yes, I remember.
Gelatini.
I remember in the 50s. She was one of my favorite characters on TV. Gelatin.
She was my favorite burlesque dancer, Gelatine.
Yeah.
Put your hands together.
Put your hands together for gelatine. I'll say it. I got no problem with that.
That's funny.
You know what's funny?
I do.
was watching
Oh.
Coming to America on the Paramount channel, and they totally trimmed the scenes before Randy Watson and sexual chocolate.
Did they really? The original one?
Well, because he has all the beauty pageant contestants turn around, and they all got really tiny shorts that are showing their cheeks, and they took he's like, look at that, and he's
Oh, I don't
pointing
remember
at
that part.
looking butts, and yeah.
Was that in the new movie or the original?
No, it's in the original, but they
Mm.
cut it. They trimmed the scene, and I'm like, man, you guys got issues. Whatever.
People are
Okay.
afraid.
People are afraid. It's ridiculous.
Don't be afraid, Johnny. I know you're not scared.
And John,
Put the
says
boots
all
on
the
and go
shit
out there. Got to trudge through the. You know what to do is what I've been doing is watching Walking Dead. We're binging it, and my wife is getting brave now. And now every time when we come home, she refers to the house as our sanctuary. And I tell the kids when I took them in at night, I said, "Make sure you're safe. You'll be here lay down tonight." So, if you want to get strength, you watch Walking Dead, and you'll feel different. You'll put your boots on and go out there and trudge through the mud and all you're doing is getting your mail.
When you used to put your boots on, would you have bread bags on your feet so you could slip into the boots easier?
I did when I went to
All right.
Mexico.
All right.
went
That's
to-
enough, Johnny. Thank
Yeah.
you.
When I went to Mexico, I did that because I had holes in my shoes.
Oh,
It's
My-
true. We're walking.
Now that I zoomed in a little bit, my usual clutter looks less cluttery.
me too.
Yeah, I think this is better. All right,
Mm.
Ari, right before you were going to come on,
Yes.
we were going to show new clips from Skoke.
Show me. I want to see.
Yes. So first we got the extended cut of one of our favorite scenes from
The
Spring
Snyder-
Break Lawyer.
The Snyder cut
the
of
Snyder
Spring
edition?
Break Lawyer.
Yeah, this is the Snyder edition of Spring Break Lawyer. Yes. All right, here we go. Stand by.
Extended cut. 2 words.
Leon Hornberger came to spring break to have some fun, and there is nothing wrong with that. Or that.
Sir, please. Tell us what it was like inside the courtroom.
Oh, man, did you hear that guy fart? That was some grade A trouser beef. My compliments to the chef. I don't know what that kid ate, but that was amazing.
Oh boy.
And I still love the convict haircut that you had back then, Scope.
Yeah.
You were prisoner number 48135.
That was.
It's
TK
nice that they let
Fart.
you out to do spring break lawyer.
They're like, we don't know what to write here, gentlemen. What do you got? How about they fart? Yeah, that's good. And then we kill Superman. Yeah, and then he farts. Okay, and then
I gotta look at the cast list again. Was the judge Adrian Barbeau?
Oh, might have been. I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
and
I didn't
wow.
recognize her.
I will say
something?
the actor that's farting does a good job of really selling it, though. He's like shaking his head, and you can really get that feeling of like how good it felt to get that fart out.
Yeah, he commits to the moment.
Yeah.
I
He was
felt
hold-
the air, the breeze.
Yeah,
He's been holding that in for a while. Yeah.
And
Oh, you know what?
thank God we got Judah Freelander commenting on the farting.
But I want to wonder, like, I have, like, the term extended cut. Like, how can you cut it and have it be extended still?
Well,
Like,
because
if
you're
you
showing
extend
more.
But it wouldn't be a cut. Like, the word cut is
yes,
wrong.
it is. No,
The extended addition, because if you extend something and cut it, it should be the shorter cut because it used to be formerly known as the extended, but now it's short.
yeah, but you just
you cut it.
because it's still a cut because the whole movie's the movie.
the
But you would be
extended film.
pre-cut.
The extended film, it should be called.
But if you're if you're going to the deli and you want to buy a whole pepperoni link, and you say give me the whole link, or do you want the extended cut? Or they wouldn't be extended because they would cut it and be shorter piece. So it's like give me the whole extended piece. That's what it should be.
All right.
The entire length. Right?
I don't know. Why don't you write a paper on that and we'll figure that out for you.
Oh, Johnny, man,
I-
slapped it down. It's like, I was
Manager,
waiting
you know
for
that.
it. But you got to learn the improv. The improv. Oh yes, and then what? But no, all right.
A big
There you go.
piece.
What do you? Oh,
The big
Goldfish,
piece.
nice.
A big piece.
Like the big
With Mickey
piece
and
fell
Minnie on
out.
the cover. I
Oh,
had
I
no idea Disney was hawking.
Oh,
Pepperidge
Mickey.
Farm. Remember Goldfish crackers? They have that good cheddar taste. Ooh,
Mickey's on there.
Yeah.
Are they Mickey shapes?
Yeah, some of them.
1930s. Hey,
The fish.
Minnie, after we eat these goldfish things, why don't we get
Oh, I
some
like it.
Popeye cigarettes? Huh?
Just smoke some.
It would be
Oh,
the
Mickey fish.
smaller piece, and then the extended cut would be the whole thing,
The whole entire
the
piece.
entire length of it.
So it should be called the entire Snyder piece.
By
But
the way,
It's an
It should be
extended
called
cut
the,
because
the
they cut
Snyder
up
girth.
they
It should
cut
be
up
called.
scenes and put them together, so the whole film is cut. That's why it's an
splice.
extended cut. Yes, splice.
It should be an entire spliced film.
It's like cut me, Mick, cut me. So that's what they do, and then they put the scenes together.
The Snyder splice. I like
The
that.
Snyder splice sounds
Yeah.
better, right? the Snyder splice.
A big piece.
The
big
splice
piece.
verse.
Give
The
me the-
splice verse.
I'd like to point out that the judge is indeed from Spring Break Lawyer, Adrian Barbeau.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Swamp
Man,
Thing.
yeah,
Original
so-
Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
What an honor then to
She
have appeared in a
was,
film.
Was that Maud's daughter?
Maud's daughter, absolutely.
Never watched Maud. She frightened me.
Oh man, anytime Adrian Barbeau was on, she had my full attention.
Whoa.
And even now, I would say still flying.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she just ordered a new fleet right now. She changed the tires off the old planes.
She played a Romulan in an episode of Deep Space Nine.
He never saw it coming, that guy. She played him right out the park.
Scope
No,
never
no.
even saw it coming. He was in a movie with her, never even
Yeah.
saw it coming.
Did you get to meet her?
That's a missed opportunity, Scoop or Scope.
No, through movie magic, it appears that we were sharing the same room, but in reality, these were shot on separate days. Her interior judge scene and my outdoor fart, smells terrible scene were filmed on separate days.
Were you in the courtroom scenes or no?
Wait,
I was not. No.
You're saying that they were spliced together?
An extended splice.
That's
Now,
correct.
did she see you in your flesh cup?
She did not. She was not fortunate enough to, but about 100 other people were on the crew.
Aw,
I
man.
got to see it.
That
All
must
right,
have
now
been a great day.
You're going to have to explain this second cut that we have because it's a different project that you're involved in.
Sure. This project is it's a comic book project. The creator's name is John Rodriguez, and he goes by Jar of Comics. His website is jarofcomics.com, and he did a Kickstarter for his comic book called The Mad Gasser of Mattoon. He did a Kickstarter a couple years ago for the first issue, and he just successfully fulfilled the Kickstarter for issue number 2. He's hoping to make it a 4-issue series. And so he, to help advertise the Kickstarter, he put together a trailer for each of these first 2 issues. And I did the voices in these trailers. So that's what we're about to take a look at. The trailers.
Multiple voices? You did
multiple voices.
Oh,
yes,
that's cool.
For the Mad Gasser of Mattoon.
Oh, no. More farts?
No, there's no not human gas, but the gas being referred to is there was a legend that there was some sort of person causing gas leaks in Mattoon, Illinois. I forget what year it was, but there were several cases where people were getting gas leaks in their homes, and they thought someone was going around causing these things. So they said there was a Mad Gasser of Mattoon going around causing this.
So this is based on a true story? This comic?
Yes, it's based on a true myth. And the gasser, the true myth.
Kind of an oxymoron, but all right, I'll let you run with it. That's all right.
I'll give you oxymoron.
Are you?
The Mad Gasser takes up the mantle of this mythical character and becomes
a new hero is born.
A new hero is born.
I like everything that you just said.
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy the trailer.
I'm going to watch the hell out of it.
We're going to see him.
I don't think we have enough juice.
Will you be quiet? It'll be enough.
That's all of it. We should hurry. I don't think he'll be down for long.
Will you stop worrying and let me work?
Do we get paid for half a head?
No.
Not even half?
No. Told you I could do it.
It doesn't count.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
Stop staring at me with that mask. It freaks me out.
Wow. That was cool. So it's an urban legend, but they turned it into a real story, like a real horror film or a horror comic.
That's
cool, man.
Yeah, that's the idea. And the Mad Gasser is collecting heads, and we're going to find out in this next issue a little bit more about why he's doing that and who is behind this, who he's collecting the heads for.
Oh my god, I like it.
I don't like it. I'm scared.
And John is he's from Chicago. He's from the South Side, and he's doing comics and selling his art, doing commissions full time.
Oh, cool!
So good for him.
What's his last name? What John?
His name is Rodriguez. John Rodriguez.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I'll throw his website out there again. His website is jarofcomics.com, like his initials, JAR, Jar of Comics.
Yeah.
And cool. He comes. He's been coming to the conventions. He was at C2E2 the last one. He had a table set up there and he was selling his stuff. And I got to know him because I worked with his brother.
Sorry.
Nice.
His younger brother I worked with back when I was doing my project management job. So that's how I got to know John. And he put the trailer together himself and did all the art, all the writing.
I like
He's a good man. He's a good man. I wish him a lot of luck with his
I don't like it. Scary. Scares me.
It's scary.
I like your voices because I know it's you, but I don't know if I didn't know it was you, if I couldn't tell. But me knowing it's you feels like it's a split personality talking to each other, like a dual identity. Like, should I do it? Don't do it. Yes, do it. Like the two little guys on your shoulders.
You know? It is.
Well, I recognize your voice. but I didn't recognize the other one as your voice. I thought one of them was you because I
One
thought I
of them
recognized you.
One of them was Mike, and the other one was the other Mike.
Oh, snap!
The other Mike.
Yeah.
The other Mike.
You're
You
freaking
see?
me out, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's they were both me.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it. I
There
like
you
it.
go.
I like it. I like it.
We wish the other Mike get healthy tonight.
He's
Who
hurt.
was
Yeah.
it?
Mike
Yes,
Nagan.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little under the weather. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he'd be well by now. We thought about maybe potting Monday, and he was sick Monday, but yeah, he's still
Does
sick.
he have it? Does anyone know?
No.
I don't think
No,
he has.
he does not.
Thank you, Wayne.
He has the goo. Cooties, maybe?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You get cooties from girls, right?
It's the it kudos. He turns into a clown when he's not thinking about it too hard. Yeah.
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 If you're just joining us, this is what's happening right now.
Welcome to the Yeah podcast.
You know, seriously, I was gonna make fun of when you said welcome to the podcast when you popped up, but I'm like, actually, people might be joining us mid conversation.
Yeah. Well, I did.
In case you joined us, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
People see I'm on there and they stay. They're like, oh, that guy's going to say some weird stuff. It's like a continuation of my Says Things show.
By the way, I like your Beatles kind of glasses you've got.
I like the Beatles. You like that? Thank you very much.
Which one of you is Ringo?
I'm trying to get my beard going.
Double Fantasy, the album you made with Yoko doing half the songs.
Screaming, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. That was fun. We had to take her off the ceiling after a while.
Great,
She
the
was
great
just hanging
thing
up
about
there.
Yoko's records, well, you could play them forward or backwards, and they sounded the same.
I like Yoko. We recorded her in reverse and it came out the same.
Artie looks like the Beatles, and I look like the new Popeye.
Oh,
That's true. Rebooted Popeye.
I could reboot
Blonde hair
Popeye.
sticking out.
My Popeye would be awesome.
Hey, by the way,
Yes.
I'm saving. I haven't watched the 5th episode of Superman and Lois because I'm really pissed that I got to literally wait almost 2 months for the next episode because it's not going to be back till the end of either April or I think the end of May.
College basketball interrupting.
No, it's on the
Big Ten.
Well, no, because we just had the college basketball game on Monday.
Oh, I didn't know. I
Baylor won the NCAA.
have no idea. But I only saw the first two so far. I'm behind on a lot of my homework.
I saw the first two too.
You got
I have to watch
the other 3 because it's not coming back for another 2 months.
Well, yeah, I'll catch up. We always try to watch, but now Gordy's working, man. He's my little working man. He's never home in the evenings when we like to watch TV in the dark with a music rule with the sound real loud. We still have to watch King Kong and Godzilla fight. We still got to watch them.
When he comes back from work, does he smell like French fries?
Yeah, his hair. I smell him all the time. He smells good though. He said, "Dad, stop licking me." You know, I'm like, "Oh, so good. You got salt." I don't do that, but he does stink.
It's a good thing he doesn't work at Harold's.
Oh my god!
I don't do that, but he does stink.
He smells. He has a fragrance. I don't know if it's a fragrance or an odor. They're both smells, right?
When I worked at Dairy Queen in college, and I worked on I did the grill, it was the most weight I ever lost, other than Weight Watchers, because I was surrounded by fried meat for 6 hours, and the last thing I wanted to do when I came home was eat any meat whatsoever.
It reminds me of that
so much weight.
That Seinfeld episode where Kramer smelled like Kenny Rogers chicken, and and Newman wanted to eat him.
Yeah, he put him in the tub with butter. Yeah.
There was I told you guys this, but I used to work in a deli, and I would walk home from school after my shift. I would go to work after school and then walk home in the evening. And cats would follow me because I smelled like deli meat. So
Cat Strut, I'm a lazy man.
Yeah, White Castle. I had pickle hands. They would smell like pickles, and my fingernails would be slightly green. And I never get that smell out. By the time I get the smell, take a week, and then I go back to work. I work on the weekends. Like, oh man, it was rough.
Yep. No, it was the
onions
same
on your shoes and stuff.
Yeah, it was the same with the grease from the fried meat. And I would immediately come home and take a shower, and I could at least still smell it.
Yeah, it's still in your hair. You don't need to buy hair gel. Just comb it back. You know.
My girlfriend worked at a place that sold like nuts and other things. And they sold homemade peanut brittle. And she always smelled when she come back from work. She'd smell like peanut brittle.
That's where I lost all credibility for the story.
Stop
you have
smelling.
a girlfriend.
Boy, oh boy.
Stop
Hey,
smelling me, Yoko
peanut
chips.
brittle. Boy, oh
They
boy.
call them Yoko nuts. Yeah.
His girlfriend called him Yoko chips.
Yoko chips.
Exactly.
Leave
I
me
smell
alone.
like yoga nuts.
Yoko nuts.
It's true.
My boy brings home he likes to close up, lock up or, finish the store or whatever, because he brings home all the food. The last time he filled up a brown bag, like all the way up with fries, you could barely roll the top, and he's coming in the car with it. Dad, just hold the bag. And then I had to hold the bag so he put a seatbelt on and he held it on his lap. But the fries, they're not good in the morning. They get real hard.
Oh my God! No! You
You can
literally,
pick your teeth with them.
yeah. No,
But he
you
also,
can't, you can't refrigerate and reheat fries. No,
it's hard.
not
But he
good.
brings home pies every day. So there's apple pies and strawberry pies, cherry pies. They're always lined up, stacked up on my stove. So it's cool to have coffee and a pie every morning.
Sure.
But we still got like 12 of them. He says, "Should I bring any home today?" I'm like, "Nah, let's wait a few days.
Well, yeah.
Let's just go down."
No, when
He
I worked
provides.
when I worked at Starbucks, I was an assistant manager. The company would tell you like, okay, you got to either donate the food or dump it. And I had all these college kids working with me, and I'm like, take the food home. I'm like, you don't have to dump it. Don't worry. Really, John? Are we gonna get in trouble? I'm like, I'll take the rap if you get in trouble.
Yeah, just take it.
I'm like, yeah. And they were like, they're poor college kids. All the only money they were making was from Starbucks. So I'm like,
Yoko Rebel. That's what that's all about.
Eat the tarts. And so
when I worked at Wendy's, right before we closed, we would put the chicken nuggets or the spicy chickens down like a minute before we closed, and then it's like, well, just take it home because we were all in college too.
My boy brings back nuggets in the pancake container, and he opens there's like 50 nuggets. It's all packed real tight. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He said, "That's why he likes closing." He always texts me, "Hey, did we cook dinner?" And I'll say, "Yeah," and then he says, "Okay, I'm bringing more food too." So we got spaghetti and chicken nuggets every night.
Well, you got hungry kids. I mean, Gordy and Audrey are like, yeah. So that's something like, like kids from when they're little kids to teenage kids, they're constantly hungry. I mean, my sister, having the two boys, and they were only like 5 years apart, and they'd bring friends over, and she'd constantly go to like Little Caesar and do the pizza thing because it was like cheap food, and like the kids loved it because they'd like devour it because they're all playing sports, so they're always they're like Wally West.
Yeah, I'm always making Crystal Light Kool-Aid, and I'm always feeding people. Yesterday there was an extra few. I had 8 people all together.
Wow!
We make dinner for 8 people, and then I'm barely like I gotta make sure I eat something. It's gonna be gone. But every time I order food, it's like $100. $100. Used to be like $6 or $7 because I just for myself. When you
How much did I
like,
sell this Popeye and Bluto for, Art?
$100.
Yeah.
Everything started at $100. Yeah.
Hey, that's like Franco had that awesome Teen Titans that did it even last like 12 hours, Franco, on Etsy?
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
It lasted about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Frank, and I'm going to say it, and if I'm out of school, I apologize in advance. But yeah, Frank was like, should I sell for this much or should I sell for this much? I'm like, sell it for this much. Like, without even like, he's like, wow, you didn't even think about it. I'm like, no, because it's awesome.
Sell for a lot of money.
Seriously, it's like art. It's just like what you have in your background, but obviously Franco style. And he had 5 figures. It's the original Titans.
I saw that. Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So yeah,
Speedy was on her. Yeah,
I'm like, don't sell yourself short, sir. I'm like, that's an expensive piece. I'm like, absolutely. So
I still have to finish this one.
Wow,
finishing this one.
Hold on, this is right.
Yeah, I got to add a few more guys. I haven't gone back to it since our live show.
Yeah, that's what we started on Monday, right?
Yeah, I haven't touched it since then. I'm going to add some more guys to it. There's Marvel and DC guys. See, there's Superman on there.
In the middle, is that Wonder Man?
Yeah, Wonder Man.
With the turtleneck and the jacket.
And there's Iron Man, classic Iron Man, R2-D2 Iron Man. Yeah, Batman's in there.
Vision, Batman.
Here's the Beast. There's Flash over here. And then I got Supergirl or She-Hulk over there. Superman flying around.
Black
Widow.
Yeah. Oh, that's Black Widow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the little bracelets.
The Black Panther.
I like these. I like
Hercules over here.
Hercules.
And then there's Vision.
I love that every time Artie has some sort of beast-like character, he's always in a crouch. Whether it's Beast Boy or the Beast.
The Beast, yeah.
Beast. No,
this guy.
Yeah, I mean Black Panther's fine, but no, man, like the Beast, it's just like when Chameleon Boy or Beast Boy, whenever you drop them.
And I like this.
Yeah.
His leg, I didn't have room, so I just hid it under here. And this other leg goes up and around.
I like how Beast has a real big arm. Real big.
Yeah, it's real big. And his hand is behind Captain America's hand. Yeah.
Is that
I'll
Flash?
put him under.
Yeah, it's Flash.
Flagellant? Yeah, that's him.
Flagellant Flash right there.
Yeah, he's over here in his thick thigh over here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put him on there. I draw this without penciling. I just go ahead with the pen, But I didn't go back to it. I got to add more guys. Maybe
It's
add a Wonder Woman.
Or that's like something we would draw at a Comic-Con after the show, like at the restaurant.
Yeah. Look how big his arm is to compared to the rest of his body.
Yeah, that's true. Thor's arm.
I didn't put the Hulk on here yet. Oh man.
Yeah. Do you have
my
favorite Iron Man? You can have
put him on there.
Keep it from the corner.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Iron Man.
He goes Iron. He looks like R2D2.
Yeah, he did. That's what I thought it was at first.
Yeah, it's Iron. It's original Iron Man.
I like Sue Storm.
Ditko made him first, right? Didn't Ditko create Iron Man's armor?
No, Don Heck.
Don Heck?
Well, I bet.
No, but I mean the very original, the gray one.
Yeah, Don Heck was the artist on the gray one.
Oh,
and I think Kirby might have designed the character.
And Ditko, didn't he draw Tony Stark at first, or no? Was that?
No, it was all Don Heck.
So, if anybody wants this, it'll be on eBay pretty soon for $500 because that's like $50 a guy.
There you go.
No, that's not true. No, I'll probably start at like $30, $40.
See,
usually what I start.
I think you're selling yourself short, sir.
Scarlet Witch.
I don't think it has to be $500, but I think it's like $100 or $200.
Yeah, I usually get the auctions usually get about $100, $80 to $120. So there's Ant-Man. Look at how happy he is too. He's waving, and he's on Seymour. Isn't that his aunt's name, Seymour, or is it Henry or something?
I forget from the movie. I forget. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep showing.
I thought it was the Wasp at first.
The Wasp.
The Wasp.
The Wasp.
Sorry, hold on.
The Wasp. Wasp hole. Yeah, she's a wasp hole.
Wasp
The
hole.
wasp. The lady.
The lady. There's the Black Widow.
The lady.
Black Widow.
Yes.
Look at, and here's what they look like on the other side of the world.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're upside down now. They're in an alternate universe where Thanos snapped. Yeah, they're in the upside down, and now they're underwater because this is a reflection Aquaman. I got to put Aquaman on her too.
That'd be good.
This is how they look on the sideways.
Yeah,
they movie sideways.
Moon Boy in there.
Moon Boy. Yeah, this is a good pod right now.
I like it. Yeah, I know people listening on audio. They're like, can't see a thing.
How you doing?
Can't see a thing. That's awesome. No, that's great, buddy. Honestly,
I like it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been drawing a lot of commissions lately, so I've been doing the live stream commission shows and clearing it up.
Well, it reminds me of like an Artist Alley drawing you would do, and you charge like $1 a character or whatever.
Yeah.
And people would do like 20, ask for 20 characters or whatever.
Yeah, they say, can you do a Green Lantern Corps? It's like, yeah, that'll be $500.
My favorite is if they ask you to do, like Green Lantern Corps, and then they want specific characters. You're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to draw these guys in there.
Yeah, I always make up guys too. Put them on there. Like, who's that guy? That's the new guy. Like, he's from Sector 3.56. What's his name? His name is That's his name.
Scoot's right though. It's like at first I was like, yeah, sure, and then people get a little specific. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah. And one time, this guy
he loses interest as he's drawing.
Yeah, we call this guy high maintenance sketch guy, and I'm very proud that I've trained him over the years. Because at first he would come up to me and say, can you draw Brandon Routh Superman? I'm like, sure. And then he goes, no, I have reference. I go, too late. And I give him here you go. It's $1. And he'd be like, oh, wait. Yeah. And he goes, what? I have reference. And then he would say,
go over. Frank, here's high skate. Hi,
here he comes.
So he get ready. And the guy's like, can you draw Brandon Routh Superman? Yeah. And he'd start drawing right away.
Yeah. And
like
then,
before the guy even finishes his sentence.
The last one too, he said, can you draw me a He-Man? So I was sure. And he goes, no, wait, I have reference. Oh, too late. And so I draw it. And then I would color. When I'm coloring, he would stop me. He goes, "Oh, can you make that part orange?" I'm like, and I get real mad. Are you drawing this or am I drawing this? And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, you want to finish it? Go right ahead. And he goes, no, you. I'm sorry, all right. And then I finish it and charge him $1. But
I was going to say, Artie, it's either free or $1, right?
Yeah. But there was one time I trained him so well that he knew when he was going to come up to me, he has to have the reference ready. And as he's asking me, he needs to hand me the reference before he asks. He goes, here's my photo. Can you draw this? And then I'll say yes. And there's no way I could do something else. So what he did was he showed up with he had the white box in the little cart. He pulled it over. He looks at me. He's standing right in front of me. I'm waiting, very patient. He opens the lid, takes the comic out, and he has a binder. He's taking a binder. He takes this paper out. He's taking this paper, and he hands me a few references. He puts them in front of me. I'm like, okay, you got it so far. And then he says, that was a Flash Gordon. It was from the from the cartoon Flash Gordon. And I said, he said, can you draw this? And he was real specific. And I drew it. I said, sure. And I drew it. And he goes, well, how much would it be? And I said, well, since you provided all this reference and art direction, I'm going to have to charge you $100. And he said, what? I go, well, yeah, look, do you not like the drawing? He goes, no, it's great. I said, well, it's $100. He goes, well, the other guys in art sell, he charged that much. And you gave me reference, and I could have did it for $1, but you wanted all this reference. And he went, okay. And he actually went in his wallet, he took $100 bill out of his wallet, gave it to me. I took it, I folded it and put it in my pocket. And I said, I'm just kidding, dude. And I gave it back to him.
Wow.
And I said, you could have it for free. I just gave it to him. No, that was worth it. Just take it. And he was sweating, man. He was like, oh my God. And believe it or not, but that has been the last high maintenance sketch guy request that I've ever gotten.
Yeah, wonder why.
I trained him because he doesn't know what to expect now.
Hey, ironically, I was talking to Gigantic Jeff today. So,
yeah.
And he mentioned, he's like, again, he goes, because there's this online thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Clubhouse. And you can set up, Mike Skolk invited me to Clubhouse. He's the one who told me all about it. And it's like private podcasting, basically. And
is it live? Does it go live?
It is live, yes. And you use your phone to podcast. And
Nice.
People are constantly doing it, and internationally and stuff. Well, Jeff does it for public speaking and his stuff that he does. And for his avatar, his icon, he uses the Gigantic Jeff sketch that you did in New York.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
of Gigantic Jeff standing on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
With
Yeah,
the
I like
ceiling,
that.
the
He
ceiling
goes,
fan.
he goes, tell Artie, I still get great comments on that sketch every time.
You know what? I have to say,
About it. How'd you get that?
yeah, because I have to say, I see Gigantic Jeff go on all the time, and he found that app that you can make sing. He was making Scoot sing, and Mego
that's real
guys
creepy,
use that.
right?
Yeah,
That's real creepy.
like Mego guys use that head to make like Mego Spock sing or Mego Superman.
Sure.
But Gigantic Jeff also found an app that turns him into a girl. It's a gender bent app. I don't know what it does, but I want to say
I want to know.
there's Gigantic Jeff as a girl singing. It's kind of cute.
Kind of hot.
Yeah, I was
Kinda
all right
hot.
with that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got to turn.
not
Yeah,
TMI,
find it.
But all right.
Go on there. He's a handsome woman.
Hey,
Makes
you're
sense.
not a bad-looking girl.
She's pretty smooth. Yeah, she's cute. I'd say, hey, Gigantic Jeffrey.
How you doing?
Jeffra? Gigantic Jeffra.
Jeffra. like on the Beverly Hillbillies, Jeff Green.
Jefferina. I don't know.
Do you remember that when?
We'll edit that out. That didn't make sense. I don't
All
want
right,
to
I'll
make
cut it
cancel.
out. Don't worry. Believe me, I'm embarrassed. I'll cut it out. Absolutely. I don't want to know about it.
I'm going to retweet it and share it on my page.
Jeff Green.
Jeffrina.
Jeffra.
I know it's a
Jeff Green.
I like Gigantic Jeff.
We all like that Jeff. He's a
Very
good guy.
inspirational.
But seriously, it was so funny. He's like, man, I got to tell you, so many of my friends are like, how'd you get that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you caught Artie on a good, you weren't even there. I'm like,
Nah.
we're around New York.
Just drawing him.
All of a sudden, yin, 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 hey, what do you think of that? And I'm like, I'm giving it to Jeff. That's fantastic.
As long as you tell everyone that you paid $100, then I'll be okay with that.
About $100.
About $100,
About
like
$100.
$99. About 100. It could be 101. It's
That's
about
fine.
$100.
I was there. I saw that happen in person when you drew the Gigantic Jeff. It was in New York one year.
It became epic.
It's true.
I also drew Yoko Chips following a lizard, and I don't know why. And that one
Didn't the lizard look like me? Wasn't he dressed like?
He was walking, and it does make the rounds, and the earbuds out of the pocket.
Better when I would talk about how I'd have really bad dreams, and I'd wake up and I'd have scratches on my body, and Scoot drew me in bed, and all these like ghosts and stuff with real sharp claws were like coming at me and stuff,
poking you with hot sticks and stuff.
I always say no. I like travel to like some sort of another planet or something like that, and I'm fighting like Flash Gordon battles and stuff in my sleep, and I wake up and I've got battle scars, and I have no idea how I got them.
You're like when the boxers get knocked out and they're on their back and they're still punching.
Exactly.
they're punching.
Marty, you remember that fight that really happened?
Yeah, I saw that a few times. Lennox Lewis did that too. When he got knocked out, he threw another punch.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The guy I remember was
Rockman knocked
Marlon Starling. He was a welterweight fighter, and he was on his back, literally doing that. And then when they revived him, they're like, "What happened?" Larry Merchant. What happened that made you go down? And he goes, "I never was down." And he goes, "Marlon, we got the tape right here."
You were knocked out.
Yep. And he goes, "I was never knocked down. I was never knocked down."
Yeah.
And seriously, like Larry Merchant takes like 5 seconds, like looking at him. He's like,
"Yeah,
thank you, Marlon." Like, okay.
I saw that one fight one time. These guys there was a war. They beat up each other so bad, and the guy who won got real beat up. They both fell down a bunch of times. And then when they interviewed him, how's it feel to beat a new champ? And he said, "I like eggs." That's what he said. And I'm like, what the heck? And they're like, well, back to you, Bob. I
was watching. Go ahead.
I was going to say when Tommy Morrison got knocked out by Ray Mercer, and he was knocked out cold, and he was on his back, and they got him on his stool, and they were checking to see if he was all right. And on his stool, all of a sudden, he was going like he was still in the fight.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, the fight's over, Tommy. You're sitting down. What are you going to say, Francis?
I was watching a boxing match once. I think it was the Olympics, and this is years and years ago. But they interviewed the guy, and it was a real tough fight, but it was an Olympic fight, and they interviewed the winner when he got out, and he was just like, literally the fight just ended, and he was still breathing heavy, and they asked him, like, what did you think? And he was like, box, hit him, and then they went down. And that was the entire conversation.
Yeah.
I understood 3 words in the entire conversation because he was still, but he was like talking as he was doing this.
It's nuts, man. I know there's a lot of stuff happening.
Pinklin Thomas was a former heavyweight champion in the 80s. And when he fought Mike Tyson in the 90s, Pinklin Thomas was trained by Angelo Dundee. And back in the 60s, Dundee in an Ali fight against this British guy, Henry Cooper. Henry Cooper knocked Ali down, and Ali had a little tear in his glove. And luckily, the knockdown was in the 4th round, and it was very late in the round, so the bell rang, and it kind of saved Ali. And Angelo Dundee took the tear and made it bigger while nobody was looking. And he calls the referee over, and he's like, "Hey, we need new gloves." He goes, he can't be put out there with the bad glove. And it took him like 11 minutes to find a new glove. And that was plenty of time for Ali to revive himself. So they were he was trying the same trick with Pinklin Thomas on this Tyson fight. And Larry Merchant, same guy that interviewed the guy that was punching in the air. And Pinklin Thomas got knocked out cold, and he gets revived. "Pinklin, what happened in the fight?" And he said, "Well, the split in my glove made me lose my monotony." And that was, I swear to God, the quote from Thomas. Made me lose my monotony. Like,
I like when
back to you.
I like when Roy Jones was talking to Larry Merchant, or is it Larry? He was saying, he's a great Mexican fighter. What makes you say that, Roy? Well, because he's Mexican. He goes, he's from America, Roy. He's born in Los Angeles. Well, he's a Mexican fighter. Well, he's a fighter with Mexican blood. Sure, his ethnicity is Mexican, but he's an American fighter, Roy. Well, what I'm saying is, no, you're inaccurate, Roy. He's from Los Angeles. Okay. I remember that.
Roy was not the best analyst.
Yeah.
Roy made George Foreman look like Einstein. And dude, listen, I love boxing. And I respect the hell out of every fighter.
Awesome.
But the streamers now, they do interviews, and they do interviews with fighters. And I'm sorry, fighters come from difficult backgrounds. they don't make for the best interviews. They
grew up wanting to fight. That's the first thing you need.
And it's I'm sorry, it's the days of Ali and the even Mike Tyson. Yes, I'm going to beat the hell out of
him. I'll fight him. I'll do it again. Yes, him and Roy Jones Jr. Roy, would you do this again? Well, I'll discuss with my family, but probably no. And they asked, would you fight him? Would you fight him again? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do it again.
I'm telling you, that fight, their fight. And again, I have a lot of respect for Roy Jones, but Roy Jones ducked a lot of really good fighters.
He got hurt too.
And I loved seeing Tyson hand Roy Jones's ass.
Yeah, it was good.
And that Tyson knew it, but was at least polite enough to Roy. Was like, I got a lot of respect for you. You took my best punches, and you still kept trying. And that's essentially what he was saying. And it's like, yeah, listen, you sucked, and you didn't hurt me, but at least you were trying to hurt me. So I got a lot of respect for you.
And Holyfield, they're talking about him and Tyson fight now. I don't know if Holyfield will do it though.
Yeah, it's really weird because first of all, for being 58 years old, Evander's in rock hard shape.
Is he only 58?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and Tyson's 54.
Wow. Well, I'm glad they're both older than me. Because I can't fight.
As much as it was fun watching them in the ring, Roy was gasping for breath after round one.
He was hurting.
And Mike was fine. Mike went 8 rounds. I could have kept going. And it's like, yeah, obviously, because you were still punching hard in the 8th round. But Roy is like, and I'm glad because as much as I enjoy seeing these guys, fight, and that it wasn't kind of BS sparring and they really were trying to throw punches, that's a lot of pressure on your heart. And being in your 50s today is a lot different than being in your 50s when we were little kids.
Yeah, because we were little kids.
Well, and 50-year-old men, I think,
was old.
Present company excluded, most 50-year-old men take very good care of themselves and are still running and active and stuff to a degree. But, boxing's the most demanding sport. And I do worry that if these fights continue to happen, because De La Hoya wants to.
Yeah, he's dumb too.
He's in his late 40s.
He could wear those nylons. He wore fishnets.
I remember that. Yeah, I've seen those pictures. That's real, everybody. He's not kidding. It was for Halloween. Sure it was.
What would be cool?
Halloween. Sure I am.
It would be a good fight. Like, I don't know if the fight would be good, but the interviews leading up to the fight would be Mike Tyson versus Bill Cartwright. That would be a great interview. Because it's like,
I don't feel like fighting him. I want to fight him.
I'll fight him. Yeah.
When you gonna knock him out, Bill?
The fourth round.
How about you? Like, yeah,
if I can't do it, I'll start joking, so I can't do it.
I'm in the 7th round. That's good.
My trainer is so good.
I'll fight him right now. I'll fight him. I'm ready to go now.
I need some time. Maybe a week.
I bet Bill's in his 60s now. Let's see how old Bill Cartwright is.
I'll fight him next February.
Yeah, I'll fight him in June. June's good.
February. He probably looks like that Popeye drawing that Scoot did.
Yeah, that's right.
Bill is 63 years old.
Is he? There he is.
Like that. Look at him.
It's like a ripped. It's like if you put the Venom serum in Kurt Wood. That's what he would look like. you bang him up real quick.
Nice. Nice. Oh my God.
How you doing, everybody?
I like it. Facebook user.
I talked to Dan the other day.
Dan DiDio?
Yeah, he's doing good.
That's good. I like it. He's a super grandpa now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good for him.
He's got at least 3. I saw the pictures of 3 babies.
Wow.
They were on a big pillow. Yeah, it was cool. I'm proud of him.
Ryan Brown in Chicago.
Yeah, new dad today. He's got more people.
We love Brownie.
Yeah. And then he'll be paying $100 for drive-through food too pretty soon.
About $100.
Yeah, about another 18.
It'll be like $200.
I want a burger too. Oh, man. So you got to sneak out in the middle of the day when they're at school to go eat and then come home and just make whatever.
I like visiting them because he and Seeley both have houses in the neighborhood where my dad's restaurant was.
Nice.
So it's totally like the first time I went to visit Seeley, I'm like, this is my dad's old restaurant neighborhood, man. I'm like, I totally know this. Portage Park, Artie. Right over there.
I know where that is. Yeah.
Right over by there.
It's over by the thing.
Over by
Around the
Irving
corner.
Park Road, over by there.
The
Absolutely.
thing around the corner by the guys over there.
By Irving and Austin, right by the Peychaud Theater. Peychaud is spelled patio, but the old timers called it Peychaud like ratio.
Oh yeah.
That's why they call it, like the Peychaud. And I'm like, isn't it the patio theater? No, it's the Peychaud Theater.
It's the Patio. The Patio.
But yeah, Brownie and his wife bought a place there too, and it's like, oh my god, that's great. And it's like I said, I'm like, oh my god, it's my dad's old neighborhood. It's Giordano's over there. That's my dad sold
over there.
Giordano's over by
33rd Street over there by the guys.
Toity.
Yeah, you could tell me you know me. You get in. I'll let you right in. Mm-hmm.
All right, around the horn before we wrap up, because I know we've been going a long time, and poor Francis probably has to go to bed soon. Will you tell me, Francis? Are you all right, or you want to go to bed?
No, soon. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, regardless, here's the.
You guys could stay on, but I'll duck out. But yeah,
I got to get my guy in 20 minutes anyway.
Okay. How long do you think? Do you think you'll go to conventions in this calendar year?
Yes.
Before December of 2021.
Yes. C2E2 December.
Okay. All right. You think you'll do one before then?
Possibly, maybe. I got to talk to Mitch, but I'll see what he's doing. But possibly Terrificon because it's close by to me. Maybe, but
what about New York?
I think that I don't think New York is going to happen. And even if it did, I don't think I'd do New York City.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, my God, it was a COVID hospital for a lot of the year.
It's there.
And I'd be, honestly, as much as they're scrubbing, given the age of the room and the building and stuff, I'd be afraid of cooties. I got to be
We're
honest.
not leaving the prison.
See?
Stay here, you'll be safe. I'm going to kill you one day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I'm going to get you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might stay home. I'm not sure. I got invited to at least 4 shows that I haven't said yes to because I'm not sure. I didn't get vaccinated yet. I don't know.
Get on that.
I know. I got to do that. I just don't think of it. I
know, man.
I just got to do it.
And I'm only pestering you as your friend. You know that.
There's I'm not taking a stand. There's nothing political. I just haven't.
No, I realize that,
yeah.
but I'm just saying. Especially now that it's 50 and up and we're in the zone, because I waited. I was the same way. I mean, I wasn't waiting for anything other than, listen, I'm staying away from people. It's not, I'm being very careful. And also I know my time is coming where they'll beyond 65. And thankfully, as soon as they lifted it in Illinois, I signed up. And right away, last Thursday, I got my first shot.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to wear a Pulp Fiction shirt when I go. Roll up the sleeve, Pulp Fiction. Give me the shot. Give me the shot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care. Just give me the shot. A big black marker. I'm going to put a marker on there. Right there. Get me. He wanted a black magic marker, but he uses red. If you notice in the movie.
I do remember.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The good news is, Art, for people like you who have not gotten a shot yet, it's opening up. It's going to become more easy to get as time goes on because just a couple weeks ago, even, it was really difficult to just get an appointment to get this thing. But as time goes on, there will be more vaccines. It'll be more available, and there will be more places administering that thing. So that's the good news. If you haven't gotten it yet.
I want to get 3.
It'll get easier.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I get 3 shots. Make sure it sticks.
It's funny. Chucky got his on Tuesday, and Chucky got the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson shot.
Yeah, he did. Right in the Johnson.
Exactly.
What if that's how they did it?
And like
it started in
that's
there.
why you only need one. They stick it right up there.
It's a suppository. Yeah.
Well,
You'd be praying for only one.
Well, there's the 3 shots available in the States, and one of them is Johnson & Johnson. It's only 1 dose, and the other 2 are the 2-dose ones, Moderna and Pfizer. And I got
one
for
but for C-dose. Mm-hmm.
But they, but also, they're still not sure if they're going to have to get a booster. You're going to have to get a booster shot when, and especially now that there's a couple new strains of the virus. Pardon me. But I'm burping because I had my Coke.
Nice.
But they were saying that they know for a fact it at least lasts for 6 months. So I might go to a late summer convention. I might.
Can you choose where they stick you with the needle?
Yeah, I chose my sack.
Really?
Actually, I had to do it in Verjunt. Yeah.
The Verjunt. Give me a Verjunt, Doc. Did it go
nice and fleshy over there, over by
did
there?
it sound like this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I was like in Superman's origin from the Golden Age, where they were breaking hypodermic needles on my Verjunt.
Ooh.
It's like, oh man, we got to do another needle. What's wrong?
The Verjunt was awakened, saying, "Quato, Quaid. What are you doing, Quaid? Quato, give me
this.
Sticking me in the eye with that thing." Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to choose my butt cheek. Can you do it right here?
Yeah, that's good. Why don't you drop your pants? Sir, you can do it in your arm. Yeah.
Can you get that guy to do it instead? I did that at an airport once. It was embarrassed, that guy. He asked, "I'm going to give you the pat down. Are you okay with that?" And I said, "Yeah, but can you get that guy?" And he said, "Why?" I said, "He's handsome. He's more handsome." And he went, "No." And he wasn't gentle after that. Because now at the airport,
he wasn't gentle. He called him not handsome. Of
I said, "Can you get that guy over there instead?" And he went, "No." Because now at the airport, the last few times anyway, they go like this, and then like this, and like this. And then they go on this side and go like this and like this. They do the karate chop, and they do. And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Wait, they karate chop you there now?
No, they do a gentle karate. They go like this up, and then they go like the curtain sweep. And then they bring it back down and go up the other side. And that's never been done but the last 2 times. But that was 2019 since I traveled. And that's what I'm now looking forward to at airports. But besides that,
all right,
I want that guy. He's got
the chat.
Smaller hands. That really happened.
I believe it.
He didn't like it though.
See, didn't we all miss Artie? There you go. Very good.
Absolutely.
My Spider-Man drawing.
Look at
I
that.
did.
A whole bunch of stuff on
I was
there.
inspired by Art's Avengers drawing.
Did you just do that right now?
Yeah, I did it with a pen, like you
Holy
did.
cow!
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I like Electro. He's getting shocked.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Wait for it. Ready?
He's getting
ready. Sucks.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's getting a shot.
I like
Electro
Johnny as
is-
Doc Ock.
Dr. Yoctopus.
That is me, Doc Ock. That's insane.
Dr. Yoko-Puss. That's what he called him.
Nice.
And he's got the Rhino. He got 2 Yokos on there.
I like the Rhino. The Rhino.
Charges in there like the Rhino. I
That's
like
excellent.
it. I like it.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah, I like how crazy Venom looks.
Mm-hmm. He can never close his mouth because his tongue
his tongue's very big.
It, yeah.
Electro's getting a colonoscopy.
He's got the big says Rhino looks thick. He's thick Rhino.
Yeah, he
Rhino
is.
thick. Mm-hmm.
Real thick.
That's excellent.
He's inspired by or Art's Thor, thick
Yeah.
Thor.
He's the thick
Thor.
Thicknell. Yeah. I was telling my kids.
Very good.
I was telling my kids the other day that there's this superhero who works out too much with the weights, and after he's done, he's a little Thor.
I get it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Dad joke.
I got him.
I understand.
Yeah. You know why the
Are you
Scarecrow?
caught up on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Do what now?
Are you caught up on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No, I haven't even watched. I haven't
Really
been on
good.
Disney Plus. I did watch
Really-
the some of the vintage Star Wars that was on there. They had the Boba Fett cartoon,
Boba Fett, yeah.
Boba Fett cartoon, and I started watching one episode of Ewoks, and it hurt. I was looking for the hammer, so I had to take it off. Yeah, but I never saw it as a kid. Yeah, I couldn't do it, so I was pinching my toe instead. It didn't quite work because it wasn't instant pain. It was more like dig in there, trying to pull the toenail off. And I just turned it. Yeah, I went.
Did you see the Snyder cut?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched
Did
it
we
all
talk-
one
I don't
sitting.
think we talked about it on the pod yet.
Ooh, we could.
With you, and yeah, I mean, I would like to hear your opinion of it.
I thought it was great. I loved it. It was the best DC movie that they ever DC'd movie lately.
You know, I'll be honest,
I really enjoyed it.
I like, if I had to compare all the Snyder movies, I like Man of Steel best, then I like Batman, Superman, and then the Snyder cut. And I like the Snyder cut better than the original theater cut. But that said, as Scoot pointed out and everyone else, it still moved incredibly slow. It took me a week to watch the movie.
But what I like about it was all of the back stuff The first hour or two was real cool because they showed the epic battles. I liked all that stuff. I like how Wonder Woman saved the kids at that bank. I like the Flash stuff. I like all the new stuff.
I like the Flash scene with Iris. I thought that was
yeah.
good.
Like when they resurrected Superman, it made a lot more sense in this movie. It actually made sense. Why?
Did you guys see, like, online, somebody took that scene of Flash when he's moving the stuff around,
right?
You know, and he picks up the hot dog, and he put it up her nose, like they did a bunch of photos where he's like picking it, and then you see, and then he's like he puts it up her nose. That made me laugh.
Well, that scene I really appreciated because it was kind of an homage to that first issue of Flash, Showcase 4.
Yeah.
When he's in the diner and all the food's hanging like there and everything, and he puts everything normal.
Like like the Quicksilver did that first. Did you do that first, or was it Snyder? Filmed it first.
Oh, that's interesting. No,
Quicksilver did it twice.
Yeah. Well, that's right because it was in
Two
Days
movies.
of Future Past. I don't know. I'm going to look up the year
Did
of
Days of Future Past come out before, or what? He did it in Future Past, and then what else? There was the next one. Was it Apocalypse? He did it. Or was it the one after?
But Days of Future Past was the first.
Yeah, I really like that one. That's my favorite X-Men. I look more forward to the X-Men movies than any other superhero movies, but they're, they are what they are. But the Snyder movie, I thought was really good. And plus, I think it helped that we saw the original one, the Whedon version first, so we could compare it. But I really liked it. It was really cool.
Well,
I enjoyed it. I was stuck. I was watching it, man. And especially all the extra stuff at the end was cool.
I agree with that as well. I just think, that said, they still probably could have cut at least a half hour, if not an hour, from the movie.
I wanted more. I think put another 2 hours. Make it a 6-hour movie. I think every movie should be like this. And they should do it streaming and not worry about theaters. Just make all the DC movies like this.
The money doesn't make sense doing it that way, Artie.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
they make
I agree, but it's
$15 a month. $15 a month, people will subscribe. Because I bought it for
Artie, that's not enough money.
Well, times
make
$7 million
to justify the money they spent between not only making the movie but marketing the movie. I mean, that's the thing. Like all those Snyder movies were between $300 and $500 million just to make the movie.
Should have made it for $100
just to make the movie, and then they want to profit from that. So, like when Justice League only made $600 million in the theaters, and they're like, it should have made more money. And everyone's like, it made $600 million. It's but it cost $500 million, and just making $15 a month from subscribers. That the only reason why they're doing that is they wanted to get subscribers to buy HBO Max. But
Netflix is doing it with like Stranger Things and Umbrella Academy and stuff.
Yeah, but those things they don't cost that much to make.
Yeah, they should just do it.
I'm just
because the reason why I subscribe to HBO Max because the Snyder Slice, the Snyder Splice, and the King Kong versus Godzilla. That's why I kept thinking, okay, if they release one cool movie a month, it'll be worth it.
Well, they're only doing that through the end of the year, and then it's going to go back to the old model where they're going to be releasing them in theaters, and then they're not going to be on Hobomax anymore.
Oh,
yeah. I mean that.
But the Hobomax is basically they're gonna be doing on a bigger scale what they did with the DC Universe app, where they're doing all these shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And releasing them on there, but like on a bigger scale with a whole bunch of other stuff, not just the DC stuff.
And also the other thing is the model may change where they might release a movie both on streaming as well as in the theaters. But but I think the price will be to see it streaming. It could be as much as $50 to see it in your home.
Right. Oh yeah.
Now, if you got
Disney's doing that with the Mulan movies and
and with when you have Brian Bendis and I talked about this. Hello. Bendis has a big family, like you have a big family, and it's
too many people.
Well, no, but like if you want to, take everybody to the theater and popcorn and the tickets. We're back to about $100.
Everything's $100.
And there you go. And I mean, now, again, so you want to do that, or do you want to spend it at home and only spend $50?
Mm-hmm.
So, but who knows? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the future because.
I do.
Okay, tell me.
Well, the future's hard to predict. The future.
Well, I
always
just
emotion.
said, wait, you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
No, I do.
So tell me.
I know my Gordy's going to college next semester, next September. Yeah, and I got to pick him up in the near future, a few minutes. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and draw all day, probably. Oh, I'm going to have Wings with Austin Huff. So I do know the future.
All right, thank you.
But not HBO future.
Kevin wants to know if the DC Universe app is still going or is it all on HBO Max?
Nope,
I'm not
it's
there.
kaput. I think the only thing they have on there is like a Comixology Unlimited type thing.
Yeah.
I
So
don't have it.
yeah.
What about Super Pet? The Super Pet shorts. Where are they now?
They're
I
not
don't think they're on
nowhere.
HBO Max yet.
YouTube.
I would think they eventually will be.
They're on YouTube.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
I watched
They used to be on the they used to be on the Universe app, but then they kaput that. But I don't mind. Like they have that Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody, which I was looking forward to seeing. It's released in theaters this week.
Yeah, what's it called? Broken or released or something?
Nobody. It's called
Nobody. Yeah, that's what it was.
And it's being released this week in theaters, and then next week on the 16th or something like that, it comes out on demand.
Really?
So I'm wondering what the price of that is going to cost, because it's still in theaters, and they're probably going to charge a theatrical rate. But even if it is $30, that's what I would spend for me and my son to go see it in the theater or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'd buy it just to see it at home.
But
that would be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the Nobody doesn't cost what a superhero movie costs. Or a Star
No, I understand that, but I mean, if like,
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you.
Yeah, the Black Widow movie. Yeah, the Black Widow movie. I mean, I know it's the time that they're doing it, but the Black Widow movie, they're releasing it on the Disney premiere. So even if they wind up charging $50 for Black Widow, I'm gonna get it at home and watch it. Yeah, because I'm going to watch it at home, and there's family members here that are going to see it, and it's going to be. I think they'll leave it up for like 30 days, so I can watch it a couple of times.
But the only reason why they're doing that is they've got so many other subsequent movies in the pipeline that likely are all linked together from a story standpoint. Whereas the James Bond movie, they keep kicking down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to go on 2 years if they release it at the end of this year, and. Netflix and Amazon Prime and all these streamers have offered, hey, we'll give you $700 million for the Bond movie. And the Bond people are like, no, because they know they can make more money when it's in theaters.
Well, Mandalorian and Obi-Wan are making it.
Those are made for television, sir.
Yeah, but they're on Disney Plus. It's like a movie.
Right.
It's better than a movie.
It's like a movie. And also the reason why those are on there and the way that they've been able to make those movies, they have this technology that's called God. Now I'm forgetting what it's called. Okay, you know about this?
Filming in a fishbowl. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it on here.
Yeah.
They could do Superman like that, and then have him on every day forever for us for our
Well,
lives.
I don't know if like Disney owns that format. Maybe somebody online, but maybe some of the viewers will know what I'm talking. The name of what it is. But essentially, it's a giant television screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're able to project the backgrounds on that screen, and it cuts the cost ridiculously low. And Mandalorian was made to prove that the way to make movies like this is possible. I don't know. Is it Stage? I think it's called Stagecraft. I'm pretty sure it's called Stagecraft. And that's brand new technology. I don't know if Disney is smart enough to license it to anybody else that wants to make big budget movies.
I want to license it.
You can reverse engineer that stuff. I mean, once it comes out and Favreau's got the dibs on doing it first. Once it comes out, oh look, that's how it's done. Let's build another set here, and that's
unless they put a patent on it, and people can't do it without giving Disney a licensing fee. I have no idea.
They should go to Shark Tank with this stuff, like we Hobomix. So
what do you got, Smoke? What do you got?
I was gonna say. I mean, I used to be in the post-production world and having to deal with green screen and replacing green screen backgrounds with 3D elements and fake backgrounds and stuff, and it's a lot. I mean, you have to track the shot first before you can put any elements in there to fill in that background and get rid of the green. There's a lot of compositing involved, and you'd still have to do some of that stuff with this LED technology they have. But when I first heard about it, Franco sent an article about it. When I first heard and saw what they were doing, I was like, oh man, if they can replace that green screen stuff, that's going to save a lot of time, a lot of headache. I don't know how
and a lot of money.
Financially feasible it is to do right now, but man, if that's where it's headed, it looks really convincing. It looks great, and it would save a lot of time and money.
Yeah, no question. And again, we're only at the beginning. Pardon me.
I also like these deep fakes they're doing with putting other actors on other actors' faces, and they look real. They look real. You know what I mean?
They do.
I do.
They put the Stranger Things girl on Princess Leia, and it looks good.
I believe
Harrison Ford on the other guy.
When Scoot was singing, what song were you singing? What song did Gigantic Jeff have you singing?
I am.
He's on mute.
No, he's not on mute. He's just playing with us unless he is on mute.
I blocked it, I said.
Oh, okay.
You blocked Gigantic Jeff?
You know, they did. I saw somebody did that deep fake thing. They put George Clooney on art, and it didn't change.
No.
Oh, I know. It's hard to do. You know.
Same.
It's George Clooney you're seeing right now. It's not
true.
really me. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened to my avatar when I turn my camera off. It goes to a blank.
It disappears.
I got to reload it. I don't know what's going on. Hey, look at the family portrait of the Scoot family. Kendall and baby Huey and Oliver.
He's got babies, that guy. You're going to spend $100 on drive-thru pretty soon.
Honestly, I just want to just hug her for like hours, sir.
Yeah.
That's a great picture of your daughter.
Smell her.
I just that little bonnet, her little, remember when your mother used to rock you on your rocking chair?
Does she talk now? Daddy.
Just a couple words, yeah.
Baba.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many months now? How old is
Oliver.
she?
13.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Walking yet? You're trying?
Nope. Trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like
when
the
it begins.
picture our Oliver drew of Felicity playing with his trains, and he's in the background approaching with an angry face because he's getting mad because he's playing with her train, or she's playing with his trains.
She's tired now. Isn't it bedtime? Yeah.
I like Oliver went through my sketches and he recognized. I don't know if you saw him.
I saw you drew Popeye.
Yeah.
You drew Shazam. Did you draw?
He was Shazam, but Oliver thought it was Jay Garrick because he didn't have the.
He knows.
No, he
Jay
just
Garrick.
said the Flash.
Oh, there
because
it
he
is.
saw the lightning bolt. Yeah, he didn't know which
I
Flash.
like that. It looks like Johnny is looks like a self-portrait almost.
I drew with my mouse already, so I couldn't draw good lines. So yeah, I was kind of hurting lines.
Oh, it's your mouse? It looks good.
That should be your profile pic.
Forgive me, everybody, because I know everyone's seen it a million times, but I gotta say, I'm like kind of proud of it in terms of they look like they're the way they're supposed to look.
Oh, there's Barney. Yeah,
they do.
It could be your business card. I would put that on there.
Yeah, let's not get crazy.
We'reballoon.com.
Yeah, exactly.
.com. Yoka chips.
$100.
I actually bought fresh pencils because, like I was telling Scoot, I'm like, all right, if I didn't have a shaky hand when I was trying to draw with the mouse, I'm like, I bet I could do it a little bit better.
Shaky chips. Fresh? You said fresh or French?
I said French. I didn't say.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't think I said fresh or French, but thank you. I'm not sure.
French.
I don't know what you heard, but French.
And you drew all that with a mouse too on top of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So that's why like the lines are a little hurting. But I really like Scoot's great Popeye drawing. I saw that like there's a drawing of Popeye where he's totally looking straight ahead. And I'm like, and I was looking at the head and I'm like, okay, the top one, sir. Yeah.
That looks nice and smooth.
And the face, the head on shot of Popeye that I found, I was just looking at the shape of the head. And I'm just like, okay, well, that's like an upside down 8. I can figure that out. And then
what does that look like?
The way Popeye's eyes are, that was easy to kind of like, okay, one eye goes this way, one eye goes that way, the mouth goes this way, and I'm like, all right, I can figure that out. All right.
I tried drawing with a cat once. The drawing came out scratchy. It's good. It's good. People draw mice. Get it? Mice, cats. I drew an elephant.
I'm scrolling because I think someone mentioned dad joke.
Drew with a rhino.
but I can't find it right now.
A lot of thick lines. Bad jokes. I like that. I can
There
do
you
it.
go. All right,
Yeah, like 8 children in my house.
You got to go.
I didn't get the text yet. But
It's
I
10
will
o'clock.
soon. I will soon.
Yeah,
I
Between
gotta
now
get
and
going.
10:30. You always
All right,
text
yeah,
me.
we could wrap up. Regardless, let's wrap
Mm-hmm.
up. We did 3 hours. We did our job.
Was it
Wrapped
3
up.
hours?
Buy it at your
Wrapped
local
up.
comic
Thank you.
shop.
Volume 1 and
Exactly.
2. Mm-hmm.
We like
Yeah.
it. We like it a
That
lot.
was 3 hours already. Holy cow!
Yeah, Agents of Chaos next year. Correct.
Something
Agents of
like that.
Chaos?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
can't.
sorry.
I can't announce it. Yeah.
Oh, your new one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what that
agents,
is.
agents of something.
All right, never mind.
I don't
Sorry.
have any new books.
Nobody heard. Nobody. I don't know how to break it to you guys. Nobody's actually watching. Okay.
At least there's
I
a few
forget-
I'm watching.
I forget what I had on Word Balloon last week. I think it was Henderson. I think it was Lucifer producer. And I'm so happy. 18,000 views on YouTube. I don't mean to brag, but I'm
Wow.
yeah,
Good.
really, I was very happy that happened. But Joe was saying something. He's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm like, Joe, I don't know how to break it to you. Nobody's actually watching this.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Exactly. I'm like, nobody cares. I mean, we were laughing about it. So
Nobody cares. I used to work at a comic shop and go through the catalog. Look at this, blah, blah, blah. Issue 1, nobody cares. And I used to say it all the time. And then I saw the owner and his wife looking through that, saying the same thing. She was another appearance. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That would be it. I don't want to get
True.
into specifics.
it's sad but true. You're 100% right.
Mhm, nobody cares. Too many books. Nobody cares. I just want to announce I have no new books coming out. So, well, I'm working on the same series, issue 3.
Okay.
Drew number 3 and Gilbert 4, and then we have a DC book coming out in 2024.
It's
But
really
besides that-
all right. I look forward to it
Yeah.
at the next presidential election. Thank
Besides
you.
that, yeah,
All right.
there's no hurry. You could draw one character a day, and I can finish on time. And like I used to say, oh, page a day. Nah, this is more like one panel, one word balloon a day. Wordballoon.com a day.
I'm
We'll see what
almost up
happens.
to one a day. It's true.
The Mad
yeah.
Gasser of Mattoon.
Mhm.
Issues 1 and 2, both available now.
From jarofcomics.com.
Jarofcomics.com. And you
Oh,
can
that's
also look him up on Kickstarter, Jar of Comics, and you'll see his stuff on there too.
Upcoming word balloons. I'm going to play trivia with Mike Norton. Hey, I'm going to play trivia.
Yeah, I know that answer.
Dean
Why'd you
Haspiel.
buzz me, man?
It's going to be Norton, Dean Haspiel, Whitney Matheson, from formerly of USA Today, and a really sweet woman. I'm a big fan. And
Yeah, you like her, don't you?
I hope Fred Van Lente brings his wife.
Hey, Wendy.
Well, Whitney, but all right. And
Wendy. Oh, I love you guys.
call her Wendy.
I love
Fred Van Lente, maybe his wife Crystal, Dean Haspiel, Whitney. I keep wanting to say either Whitney Houston,
Wendy.
Whitney Matheson,
Barbara.
Mike Norton will be joining me for trivia.
Hey, I heard your name was Wendy.
Next week,
What
I'm
is
talking to Gary from Moondog Comics.
Oh, I know Gary from Moondogs. Yeah,
That's gonna be great.
probably.
And,
Cabono? Cabono? Is that his last name?
Yeah, close enough. I forget
Columbono?
Colombo. I'm not really sure.
But
But it's
Barbara?
gonna be a great conversation. Kurt Pyers is coming up.
Kurt what? Pyers.
And great artist. And then in a couple weeks, Tom Brevoort from Marvel.
Whoa, God bless Tom Brevoort. Ask him about his hat collection. I want to know.
I'm hoping he'll wear the porcupine hat while we're talking.
Porcupine hats hurt.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Porcupine.
Jesus wore the best. Oh.
The Buster Keaton hat. No, Jesus never wore. When Jesus wore the porcupine hat, he was a member of Dexy's Midnight Runners from the 80s. Or
he had opinions that nobody likes. So
or he was in Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians band.
Say hi to you like this.
They used to play that Popeye song. What I am is what I am.
I'm Popeye.
Or is you
That's
are
terrible.
or what?
Is you ain't my baby.
And then she married Paul Simon.
I don't know.
Oh,
I've
Paul
lost
Anka.
me now.
No,
Like,
Paul Simon. She married
Paul Anka.
Saturday, cha 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 cha.
Friday on the
Wednesday,
Catching Up Show, I'm talking to
cha-cha-cha.
Katie Cook.
DACA.
I'm talking to Katie Cook on the Catching Up Show on Friday.
There you go.
Catch up. I like that.
Any other podcast news from the other Peanut Gallery gentlemen?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm on all the time.
Drinking and smoking, and they're not smoking.
I'm always making new stuff,
Yeah.
drawing things, talking
I
about stuff.
imagine Artie will start a show in 3 hours from now.
Yeah, there was one day, like sometimes I'll pod like once or twice a week I'll do a live show, and there's once in a while, like one day I'll do 3 shows in one day. I'll be on live for 6 hours. Like you, Johnny, you're on like from morning till night, 2 in the morning. But I'll do a famous cartoonist says things after dark. Those are fun.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with.
People come on there and they listen.
They do. I go on there and listen.
Yeah.
I've been doing. I've been a panelist on Clubhouse. They have these Q&A sessions, and I've been on there answering questions about audiobooks related stuff. So that's something I've been doing usually like once a week on Wednesdays.
You invited me to join.
Yeah, I invited all you guys to join this Clubhouse thing.
Did you?
Right now it's in a beta phase, I guess, this Clubhouse thing. And it's by invite only. Fancy
I
pants.
just got it.
So and it's just like it feels like a convention that goes on all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a lot of them, the ones I go in, it's like you go into a room and it's all audio, there's no video, and you can listen into what sometimes people are just having a conversation, sometimes they do Q&A things. I've listened to a bunch of Q&A things where a casting director from LA will be there talking about the do's and don'ts of auditioning, and people will ask questions and stuff. And that's kind of like what I'm slowly becoming a part of, a panelist on this audiobook thing. People can come there and ask questions about the audiobook business and stuff. And so that's out there. That's what that is that I just sent you guys.
That's all mic'd up, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, man. It's mic'd up.
It's mic'd up.
It's mic'd up. I'll tell you what.
All right.
Thanks for coming. Follow me when you see me.
Stand by. Let's take one last look at Scoot stuff.
I like it.
These are for sale. One of them's $100. One of them's $30.
Popeye's $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Popeye was sideburns.
I like them. Look, it's good.
I like it too.
You have just listened to the podcast.
And don't forget the home of co-star Cesar Romero and Vincent Price.
Handsome fella.
And George Raft.
Look at George Raft.
Don't be confused when you're watching Stars. There's real art and there's Bizarro.
I want to lean on that guy. Just lean on him, like one shoulder, put my armpit on his shoulder and lean. Like, how's it going there, young fella? That's what I want to do.
This is like Crisis on Infinite Arts.
And I want to rub the back of his cheek with the back of my hand. Just rub it. Right.
I want to light matches off that little season top beard.
And I want to tell him, "My, are you handsome?" That's his soul patch. His soul patch is long.
Very thick.
He got this little soul patch here, but he's got a long one.
Like Sting. Sting has a long one.
It's his extended cut.
Did you notice that, Art? Sting has a long one. Sting paints it black.
I didn't know that. Oh, Sting. Yeah, the wrestler. I was thinking musician. I don't know why.
I was thinking the musician as well. Like, when did Sting grow a soul patch?
Yeah, Sting. He does
Sting
have
the wrestler. He has a soul patch, and he still has hair.
Yeah, he's got to shave his head and his soul patch. Yeah, that's a good soul patch. Look at it. I want to touch it. I
was laughing for 10 minutes watching the segment on Pawn Stars, and I'm like, what the hell is Art Baltazar doing?
That's it. I sent him there in my stead.
Incognito.
In my stead.
Yeah,
you can never say that word.
Assassination attempts. Don't be fooled, assassins.
Oh yeah.
By Bizarro.
He was spliced. He was spliced off of you.
I like that guy. I want to lean on him.
The Snyder split.
There are doubles for all of us all over the world. We haven't necessarily met him yet, so beware.
I met my double at Six Flags once. I was like 19 years old, and I was walking with my friends, and he was walking with his friends, and we intercrossed. But me and him met eye to eye, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and it was weird. And I thought about going with his friends. Maybe we could fool him. But I know that he knew that he was my doppelganger, and I was his doppelganger. So that was like 19 years old. So it's like 60 years ago. So that could be him. What if that's the guy I met at Six Flags?
It's possible.
Now he's famous.
Brad is asking if it sounded like Art. He did not.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's
Mario is checking in very late in the show. We're almost done, Mario.
He hates it when the Mavs lose. Mario
Save
hates it when the Mavs lose.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
likes
so-
tacos though. Mario.
And he loves the
Save
glove.
your glove comments for the next episode. Mario.
Yeah, we got gloves.
There you go.
Ghost
I didn't
stories
find
next
any
time.
Follow us when you see us.
Oh, yeah. One more thing.
Thank you very much, Lois.
Oh, he's got one more
I
thing.
just want to say hello
Oh,
to
I'm
my
sorry.
brother Tom, and his wife Shelby. They occasionally watch our show, so I just want
yeah.
to say hello to them.
Hi,
And goodbye.
Shelby and Tom.
Hi, Tom Shelby.
Shout out to Tom and Shelby. Hey.
Hey.
You guys are awesome.
And apparently the Mavericks did lose.
Everybody's
Mario.
losing today.
Very
No
nice.
fighting, no crying, no. Be nice to each other.
Yes. All right. We'll see you.
I like Pink very much,
Look at
Lois.
the things Mike and
Like
Abby.
people did it.
Already do it.
I like Pink very much, Lois. You guys are awesome. Okay, bye bye.